Okay, so how is the preparation going on? I guess you have 2-3 more days for the exam. How is it going?
Now, I looked at some PYQs, and there are some very weird questions that have come up, and I think they are out of portion of what it is. I am unable to understand. Like graphs are coming and matrices are coming.
Matrices? No, no, I
Yeah.
don't think so. You would have seen some other paper, not maths one. Maybe you would have seen some other paper for sure.
Math one, it said PYQ.
Maybe maths 2 you would have seen.
Okay.
Matrices are not in syllabus. There won't be any question that is not in syllabus. I've seen the paper.
What
I
about
went.
what about series, number series, and all that? That is also not there, right?
No, no. Okay. Then you would have seen the quiz 2 paper. Series
Oh,
are been taught in second, like maybe week 6 or 7.
okay.
So do not
So it
worry
is
about.
talking about shortest path and other paths, FSB, something. It was very weird.
Those are.
But some questions were relevant, so I was able to solve.
Maybe you would have got confused. You would have seen some other like maths 1 paper only, but maybe you would have seen of a final quiz. So shortest path and all has been discussed in last week, like week 11. So those
Okay.
won't be asked. There won't be any question apart from this the week 1 to 4
Okay.
that
Thanks.
has been taught to you. Yeah. There can be questions like increasing function, decreasing function, but those we have already discussed in the lectures, like sessions also, right? Some basic questions from those portions also with the given polynomial. So series, matrices, and all those won't be asked. That I can assure you. Yeah. So the previous papers also we are discussing. Maybe one paper has been discussed, and I guess today the other paper will be discussed. Yeah. So today we'll discuss week 1 and 2 has already been discussed. Okay, week 3 and 4 we'll discuss today. We'll just go through. I'll just give you an idea about the topics, the important portions that you should be doing. At least if you haven't done that, so you can't leave those portions for sure. Okay. And yeah, so in week 3, you have to read about the quadratic function, and this is important portions. Like there are only 4 weeks, and if you count the portions, like the important topics, I don't think so. Each week will be having some 2 to 3 important topics that you should be like focusing more. Okay, and if you are able to do that, I don't think so. You'll be missing any of the questions that has been that is there in the quiz paper. Okay, so I'll start with the quadratic equation. Okay, so let's start this session. So before that, you I'll just check it once more. You're able to see my screen, right?
Yes, sir.
We were able to see it earlier.
Okay, okay. Yeah, this is visual.
Yes.
So in the week 1 and 2, I guess that has been done. Week 1 and 2. So I'll also give you an idea, just a brief idea about week 1 and 2. If you haven't seen the yesterday video, you can just go through that. I'll also give you an idea in the 5 minutes. So in the week 1, you can focus on the first thing that you should be focusing on the Venn diagram concept. You can practice some of the questions from the Venn diagram and the relations. This is an important portion. That's all the types of relation that you already know: reflexive, symmetric, transitive, equivalence. Those things you can practice some of the questions from there. Then you can have a questions where you need to calculate the cardinality of sets. Some basic properties you should be knowing about the sets. Okay, whether you can count the duplicates or not, or that is important or not. Those type of simple concept you should be knowing about the cardinality. And then the other part is, and then you have I'm just saying about the weak one. Then you have uh, the different type of function. Okay, whether the function that will be given won't be that difficult. Will be simple, maybe a quadratic or a linear, with some mod and something. So it's pretty simple. One function, whether the function is one or not, whether the given equation relation is a function itself or not. Okay, or maybe you can be given a function, a plot, and then you can be asked whether the function is increasing from the values can be given in the option. So increasing, or maybe you can be given the plot, a simple plot like, and then you can be asked to calculate then how many minima are there. Like you have already went through in the quadratic equation how to calculate the minima at that particular points. What is basically the minima of a plot? Okay, so this simple portion. So four things I told you, right? At least practice some of the questions from there. The Venn diagram, relation sets and relation, cardinality, how to calculate that, and then the different type of functions. Okay, that is for the week 1. Week 2, these are mostly the formulas. Okay, like formula, the equation of the straight line. Equation of the straight line, you should be knowing how to write the equation of a straight line in all the forms, like in the intercept form or the normal form. So you should be knowing if you have been given some two different point, how do you write the equation of a straight line, those type of things. And okay, week 1 there is one more concept, that is sum of a square error. That also you can practice some questions. The questions will be simple from the sum of square error. And then in week 2 you have straight line equation you should be knowing, and there's some formulas you should be knowing, like the formula, this formula you can't miss it, like the area of a triangle, area of a triangle. Okay, for calculating area of a triangle, the first thing that you should be checking is whether the line is collinear or not. Okay, this type of information you should be having in your back of the mind while calculating the area of a triangle. There can be three data points, maybe two data points can be given, and the area can be given, and then you will be asked to calculate the coordinate of the third points. Okay, and then the formula, like the how to calculate the slope of a line, or maybe you can be given two different points and then can be asked to calculate the slope of the line that will be generated from that 2 points. Okay, and then you can be asked to calculate the angle between two lines. Okay, so these are the some important portion that you should be knowing, that you can't miss out. Yeah. Okay, so this is what I was how to say. So week 1 and 2 I just gave you a brief idea about that. Now let's start
Sir, I'm
with week
joining
2.
that. Please repeat the.
What?
Sir, I'm joining that. Please repeat.
Okay. So what I was saying is week two and what week one and two has already been done yesterday by I guess Arpit has done the session. So he has
Yes.
already discussed everything, but I was just giving an idea that which of the portion that you should be focusing more from week one and two. Okay. So week one, I told you the Venn diagram type of problems. There is very high probability that they can be asked. So you can just practice those type of problems. Like that requires a Venn diagram concept, like A union B union C or A intersection B. So those type of problems can be asked. Mostly it will be a two very like two or a three, like you already know that how to solve if you have been given three variables in a Venn diagram like a b c or something like that. So those some formula, basic formula you should be knowing. Okay, you can practice some questions from the Venn diagram, then you can be asked related to the relation. You can be given some concept and then can be asked whether the relation is a reflexive, symmetric, transitive, equivalence, like those type of problems can be there, and this is also very highly probable. And then you can be asked regarding the set, the basic information, the basic characteristic of a sets, like whether the duplicacy happens in sets or how do the order matters in sets. Those type of problem can be asked. Then a simple concept from the SSC, sum of squared error, can also be asked. Then the last person is the function. So you can be given some simple function and can be asked regarding the whether the function is a one, whether the function, and then can be given a plot like and most you can be given a simple plot and then can be asked from which values the function is increasing. Okay, or can be given a plot, very simple plot, not difficult at all, can be asked to calculate, like just see and tell me whether the function is minima at this point or maxima at which point, or how many minima are there, how many maxima are there. Those type of questions can be there from the function. Now from the week two, so week one is done. So this 4 5 topics that I told you, so just go and practice at least some questions from these topics. Then from week two, equations of straight line. This is pretty simple. The equation, how does this the equation by straight line, when the straight line is parallel, when the straight line is perpendicular. For a standard equation, for you can be given some standard equation a1x plus b1 y plus c1, and then another equation a2b a2x plus b2y plus C2, and then you can be asked what is the condition that the lines are parallel, what are the condition that the lines are perpendicular to each other. Then the all the, like if you have been given the form of intercept like the x-intercept and y-intercept, and then you can be asked to calculate the equation of a line. Okay, so those type of problems, area of a triangle formula, you can't miss that. You should be having this, should be in your mind at all the time. The area of a triangle, how to calculate the area of a triangle. You can be given a 2 points and then can be asked, can be given 2 points with the area, and then can be asked to calculate the data points of the third point, the coordinate of the third points, and the angle between two lines. So those type of formula, or maybe the distance, the perpendicular distance from a point. So those formula you should be knowing. Three, four, whatever I've told you, 4 5 things from week one and 4 5 things from week two. You just go and practice at least some questions from this portion. Other portions also you can go through, but these portions are most important. You can just go through and have some idea about these things. Okay, is this clear? Can we move to the week three now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So let's start with week three now. So in week three, we are just dealing with the quadratic equation. Okay, it's like a very simple topic that you have to go through. Some 4 5 concepts are there, even not even 4 5 concepts. I'll tell you which all things that you should be knowing, and you can't miss that. So this is how you represent a quadratic equation: x square plus bx plus c. I'll just give you a brief idea about week three and four, and then I'll tell you which portions are most the important portion that you can't miss that. So this is how you represent a quadratic equation, and this is how you plot a quadratic equation. Okay, this okay, and you already know that any quadratic equation that you are able to represent that in the form of some parabola. Okay, so simply the graph of some different parabola that can be a going upward or going downward parabola. So you already know that the axis of a symmetry. Okay, you can be so some. While dealing with the concept, I'll tell you which type of questions can be asked. There can be a questions where you can be given the quadratic equation and then can be asked to calculate the axis of the symmetry. The axis of symmetry is that line, basically that line in a parabola or in a quadratic equation upon which you can fold that. Like basically, if you'll see the reflection about that line, you'll see the symmetricity of the quadratic equation or the parabola. Like you can see that if you have this type, this is the first parabola, you can see that this is the axis of symmetry. Okay, and if you want to fold that parabola along this straight line, or you want to take the reflection, you'll see that that will be a exact symmetrical or the mirror image of the other side of the parabola. You'll get it. Okay, there is a simple formula for that, minus b upon 2a, that you can directly use it to calculate the axis of the symmetry. Okay, do not get confused. Minus b upon a, minus b upon 2a, you can use it to calculate the axis of the symmetry. Okay, some things are like the how to calculate the vertices of the parabola. Vertices of the parabola also you can calculate it, right? How do you calculate the vertices of the parabola? What is the formula for that?
B by 2
minus
a.
b by 2a, comma, f of minus b by 2a.
Yeah. So these all things you can't miss. These are the concepts that for sure you'll be using in the exam in some or other questions. Okay, because each week will be having some three questions, three to three, and like maximum three questions each week will be having. So in the exam also we'll be having 12 to 13 questions altogether. Okay, 12 to questions altogether will be there. Each week will be having three questions. There can be some question with the subpart. So these are the portions that you can't miss it, because some in some or other questions this all concepts will be used, the vertices of the parabola. So if somebody just forget the parabola minus b, or you get confusion minus or whether minus b by 2a or minus b by a is the vertices, you can do one thing is whatever the parabola that has been given to you. So ax square plus bx plus c, you can take the, you already know that this is the vertices, right? Basically this is the vertices, and at that point if you are mm, if you want to take the slope, you know that the slope will be having the tan equals to 0, right? Tan theta will be 0. That means the slope value or the angle that is making to x-axis will be 0. So you can do the differentiation also. If you know the how to do the differentiation, so you can do this. So it will be 2x plus b equals to 0. So basically x will be equals to minus b by 2a. Okay, if you forget, I don't think so you'll forget this formula, because this is the one formula that you will be using in each and every question some or other way. Okay, so the vertices, you can be asked to calculate the vertices, can be asked to calculate the y coordinate at which the vertices are meeting. Okay, or you can be asked at which point the functions is maxima and minima. Okay, so this is the most important concept that you can't miss out, the how to calculate the vertices of a parabola or a quadratic equation. Okay, and then how to know that whether the parabola is going upward or downward, that you can directly get an idea from the coefficient. Okay, from the leading coefficient of a quadratic equation. Okay, if your value is positive, a is greater than 0, then you can directly say that it's going upward, and if a is less than 0, you can directly say that it's going downward. Or in any case, if you don't know this concepts also, what you can do is you can just put the value at infinite. So you have let's for example a.
So now only you are starting, no, sir.
Yeah, just 5-10 minutes that happened. Yeah, just now I've started.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So for this type of, if you have to know regarding the type of the parabola, if you forget this also, like whether you get confused in the exam, what you can do is you can just put some values. You have been given the quadratic equation like ax square plus bx plus c, and here let's for example in the example that I gave you where a is positive. Okay, and you have been given, so what you can do is you can just put the value of x, some x infinite. I told you to get an idea about the quadratic equation, you can put the value of f infinite, and then you can see that the probability value will be of infinite, right? So that means at infinite will be infinite, that means the function will go from infinite to infinite, so it is going upward, right? Or in the same case, if the value is a negative value, you can, if you are putting the value of x as a infinite, you'll see that the value you'll be getting as a minus infinite. So that means the probability, the parabola will go downward. Okay, if you in case get confused in the exam, so this is how you can check with that to get the confirmation. Okay, to so this type of problem can also be asked in your exam. The next thing that can be asked is to calculate the slope. Okay, the two most important thing that I can tell you to in the quadratic equation is to get the idea about the vertices. Okay, like how do you calculate the vertices and the slope also you already know that from the slope itself you got the vertices. Okay, because you are equating the slope to 0, because at that particular vertices point the slope was 0. So you have to calculate the slope. Again, you do the same thing, ax square plus bx plus c, differentiate it to get 2ax plus b. You can directly remember this formula if somebody doesn't know much about the differentiation, because we didn't taught the differentiation. But if you know that, you can directly calculate it without remembering the formula. So you can remember this formula directly, the 2ax plus b. Okay, so at this, and if you want to equate it to 0, that means you are just want to calculate that particular point where the vertices is 0. So this is
So,
the concept. Yeah.
so what if it is cubic function?
So cubic function, the slope regarding the cubic function won't be asked because that has not been taught. Okay. Even you can directly calculate that you if you know the differentiation. If you don't know the differentiation, it will be taught you in the upcoming week.
So that we
Yeah,
have learned in
but for the cubic
intermediate.
or for the cubic or for the for any different parabola, sorry, polynomial, you can be asked regarding from the given plot. You can be asked regarding the values from which the function is increasing or decreasing, or maybe at which particular point the function is minima or maxima. Okay, so you can be given this type of plot, right? And now you can be asked which are the how many number of minima are there. Can you give me an idea how many local minima or minima that you call is there for this polynomial function? How many?
One.
Yeah,
Local minimum.
one, right?
Sir,
Everybody
what is
knows that,
local
right?
minima?
What?
Sir, what is local minima?
Yeah, how can no, like see in the how do you calculate for a quadratic equation? How do you calculate the minima point for a quadratic equation? If you have this type of quadratic equation, how do you calculate the minima point?
Is very clear, right?
Yeah, so you generally calculate the vertices. Minima point means the functions where the you can see from the plot where the function is getting minimized, or means at which point the function value is minimum. Okay, as compared to the local, like the neighborhood data. So you can see that for you have already you have been taught, right, regarding the quadratic equation, like how to calculate the what is the range of a function. How do you calculate the range of a function? The range of a function will all the function value will always be greater than this value, right? Correct. Let's
Yes,
for
sir.
example the function value is 1 here, and this is infinite. Okay, so and this is 2. Okay, so you can see that if I'm asking you what is the range of this function, this the given graph plot, what is the range for this
To
plot?
infinity.
2 to infinite or 1 to infinite?
1 to infinite.
One to
One to
infinite.
1 to infinite, right? So 1 is the minimum value, right, for this quadratic equation.
Yeah.
So what is the
Yes, sir.
minimum point? What is the minimum point?
Sir,
At 2, right?
Yes,
At
sir.
at two,
2,
yeah.
at x equals to 2, the function is getting minimum, like the function
Yeah.
value is minimum, right? So this will be
Yes, sir.
termed as a minimum point. Okay, or the local minimum or the global minimum, whatever you want to call that.
Sir,
Okay,
minimum and local minimum, these are same.
see, for you, for as of now those are not same exactly, but for you for now you can directly term it as a same, but you will be
Right.
taught regarding the global and the local. So this is a global and local both. Okay, this two. But okay, one thing, you don't get confused with local minima. Even if you've been asked, you just term take that as a minima itself. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Huh. So you when been you can be given some sort of a plot. So let's for example this is the plot. Now give me an idea how many minima point or local minima point you can see here.
Oh, no.
2.
2.
right? At
Sir,
this particular
2.
point,
Yeah.
this particular point, and this particular point, right? So number of point can be 2. How many local maxima you can see at which
3.
particular?
Sir,
3.
2. 2.
Sir,
It's 3.
2, right? This is 1 and this is 2. Okay, I'm just asking. That's why I was saying the local minima so that you can directly understand. The global is a different thing. The global is like for the whole polynomial. So do not get confused with that. Even if you have been asked to calculate the number, you can directly count from the figure at which particular point you are getting a sharp like up and down. So for minima, you can see that at which particular point the data is minimum, and for the maxima, at which particular point the data is maxima. Not more than that will be asked because you have not been taught much about this. Okay, only the quadratic equation you have been taught regarding the minima to count the minima. So for quadratic equation it will be always be 1. For some polynomial you can just see from the plot itself. There won't be any question that will be given the polynomial and then can be asked. Only the polynomial graph will be given to you and then you have to count it. So it's just that you should be knowing what is minima and maxima. If we are knowing that much, we are more than enough clearly.
which is
Okay.
same as the turning points, right? The number of turning points would give us the number of minimas and maximas together.
Yes.
Mm, you can say that as a that also, but okay, I can have an example such that. But see, mm, I can't take it any different example. So here also, but you have to again. So if I'm asking you only the number of minima or the number of like only the minima, okay, then it won't be equals to the number of turning points. You have to
Right,
then the
right.
whole number you have to
Both.
like calculate. So that
Okay.
again will be a confusing for you because
Right.
here the number of turning point is 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? But if I'm asking you just the number of minima, then that is only 2, right?
Two. Right.
Yeah. So do
Okay.
not like compare with that one. So it's pretty simple. You can directly from the figure itself you can see that which point like not even the point how many at how many point the values are getting minimized.
But they will not give us an equation to find the.
No, they won't give you. They won't give you. They can because they, only for the linear for the quadratic equation it has been taught. So maximum they can give you is the plot, and then can be asked to because the polynomial has been taught. The minima concept has been taught in the quadratic equation.
Sir,
So if you
because sir, but they have in graded assignment they have asked what will be the range if that person is walking from that curve to this curve like that.
a range can be asked. Range you have to range you can calculate, right? See range how generally you calculate the range for any quadratic equation, and range can be asked for the quadratic equation max like or not for any difficult polynomial. Okay, so for a simple quadratic equation the plot will be somewhat like this or maybe like this, correct? So to calculate the range, how do you calculate the range? First, see basically range is what are the values that you are getting as a y, not as a x, correct or not? How do you calculate the range? So if you have to calculate the range of any equation, basically you are calculating the y value, right? What are the values of that the function if you are putting any value of x, what are the range of values that you can get as a y? Okay, so this is your function fx, and if you have to calculate the range, that means the range will be somewhat from here to here, right? Because you are not getting any values that are lower than this y, correct? This will be your y minimum. How can you calculate the y minimum? You can calculate the vertex x, and then according to that x you can calculate the y. So y minima will be there, and from y minima to the infinite you can directly write it as a range for that equation. Have you got that concept? How do you calculate the range for any quadratic equation?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, everyone, are you clear with this?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is pretty simple concept. So and for this similar case you can ask here like you can be asked for the calculating the range for this type of polynomial quadratic equation also. For this case you can do is you can calculate the y
Sir,
maxima.
please repeat, sir. Sir, this
Okay.
range alone, please repeat, sir.
Okay, so I was saying you that if you have been asked to calculate the range of any quadratic equation, you basically do is you can have this two different type of polynomial like a quadratic equation. Okay, maybe it is going upward or going downward. If you have been asked to calculate first, if you have been given directly the quadratic equation and then can be asked the range, first you see whether the polynomial is going upward or downward. Let's, for example, in first case, if it is going upward. So if it is going upward, you already know that if a upward going quadratic equation is there, that means you will be having some minima point, not a maximum point, because this is going like this, right? If this is going like this, that means you'll be having some minima point. Okay. And range basically is what? Whatever the value of x you are putting, whatever the y you are getting, so this, the all the values of y is the range for that quadratic equation. So you have to calculate all the different values of y that you will be getting from this quadratic equation. Okay. So if you already know that the quadratic equation is going upward, that means you will be having a y minima. Okay. And if you are able to calculate that y minima, so your range will be what? Y minima to infinite. Okay. So y minima you have to calculate. How will you calculate y minima? You can directly, you have to just know, you calculate the slope equated to 0, or you can directly calculate the vertices. So at that vertex point, you calculate the y minima. So at that vertices point only, you will get the y minima. And if you are able to calculate that y minima, so y minima to infinite will be your range for a polynomial going upward. For a polynomial going downward, you already know that if the polynomial or the quadratic equation is going downward, that means you'll be getting some maxima points. Okay, maxima point means the values at which the function value is maximum. So y maximum you'll be getting, and this y maximum also you'll be getting at the vertex. So if you calculate the vertex of this quadratic equation, you can calculate the y maximum. So for this function, your range will be from minus infinite to y maximum. Okay. And for this case, we'll be having y minimum to infinite. Okay, but in this case, there can be a catch. So they can ask you for this quadratic equation, give me the range for some particular, let's for example, this is a quadratic equation fx, and then you can be asked to calculate what is the range for this quadratic equation in the domain. So they will fix the domain now. They'll fix the domain as a to b. How will you calculate that? If you have been given this equation itself, how will you calculate that?
B minus A. In place of x, we put
Minus
x
b
value.
by 2a.
Okay, let's solve this problem. So you have been given the question that this is the quadratic equation y equals to function fx, and then you have to calculate the domain between a to b. Okay, so the first method, what did I say? It is going upward. Upward means like the quadratic equation is going upward. That means the function will be having some minima. So what's the vertices? What is the vertex of the quadratic equation?
Minus b by 2a.
Minus vertex minus
b by 2a.
Minus b by 2a, comma function of
F function of minus b by 2.
Okay, so this, for example, just take it as a c and d. Okay, and if you are able to calculate this is f minus b by 2a, right?
Right.
So what is the function value is minus b by 2a, correct? So this will be your y minima. Okay, but now what you have to do is you have to check, you have to put the value as fc and fd also, correct? Because let's, for example, this is c and this is d, right? And if this is c, let's for example, this is c value and this is d, then you have to calculate fc and fd also. And then this value, the range will be from, if the domain is been fixed, that means it's asking that from this is, so you just have this as your this as your quadratic equation, not more than that, not less than this. So this is your quadratic equation now. Okay, and now tell me the range. Now if you have been asked to calculate the range, that means now the range will be from where? So this will be your y minimum and this will be your y maximum, correct? So earlier we were having infinite as a y maximum. Now I have y minimum, this small height, and this will be your y maximum, correct? So this will be fc. So fc is the maximum value. So now your value will be what? So whatever your range will be, f of minus b by 2a to f of c will be your range. Okay, have you got the idea? How do you calculate this type of problem?
Yes, sir.
Everybody? for a domain case now, the simple method is you calculate the function value at fc and fd. Whichever is the higher, you just take that as a higher and then calculate the minima also. So from the minima point to the maxima, so whatever you are getting the y minima at the vertex, okay, and then whatever which of the two is the maximum, you can directly write that as a maximum value. So that will be the range, and you have to close that with the like not the curly, the close bracket, because both value is possible. If the domain, so one more thing, if the domain, so small minute things are there that you have to take care. For a domain, if the domain is in some open bracket c to d, then here what should be the value of this maxima, whether the bracket will be a close or open.
Open.
Yeah, that will be open, because at this fc or fd, because that exact value you are not getting, so that will be open. Here what should be the value here, it's a close or open, the minima at the minima.
Open.
No, minima will always be close, right? Because minima to you are getting in any case, because if this is a quadratic equation, this value you are getting in any case, because you are able to calculate the vertices. So this y minima you'll get in any case, right? Only regarding the maxima there will be a confusion if this is open or close. Are you able to understand everything?
No, sir. So
Okay,
I didn't understand why this f of minus b by 2a comma f of c come in, right?
Okay, I'll repeat this. So what I was asking is,
Sir, can you take a different example, please?
okay, so do I have any?
So f minus b by 2 is minimum and fc is the maximum. See.
fc is a maximum because fc was the maximum value for this
Maximum at that point, for that quadratic drawing.
Correct. For this quadratic equation, yeah. So if let's for example, if I'm taking some different polynomial.
No, but minus b by 2a, we should, it was f of minus b by 2a.
See, the function was what, y equals to fx.
Yeah.
This is a function, this is a quadratic equation, some simple quadratic equation. The plot is like this, okay? This is the plot for this polynomial. This is y and this is x. Right. And then the domain given is c to d. Okay, so let's for example, for so to calculate the range for any quadratic equation, you first calculate where is that minima occurring. Minima occurring, you can calculate that at that particular minima you'll be getting the y minima also. So the range, the minimum value of the range also will be getting here itself. Correct? Is this clear to everyone? Yeah. So this you'll be getting y minimum, you'll get at x minimum, right? This is x minimum. This you can calculate it, right? The formula that you use it.
That's the x coordinate of the vertex.
So y minimum x coordinate and y coordinate you can calculate it. Now the method is, if you have not been given any domain, you can directly write it as a infinite. If the domain is not mentioned, yeah, y minimum to infinite. And this y minimum will always be closed because you will get the value of y minimum at x minimum for sure. Okay, so this will be your answer if the range is not given, if the domain is not mentioned. If domain is there mentioned, then what you have to do is y minimum will be y minimum for sure, but you have to calculate at whatever the domain has been given to you. So f, c and d has been given to you, right? So you have to calculate the value at c. Okay, let's for example, this is 2 and this is 4. Okay, so at 2 you have to calculate, at 4 you have to calculate. Okay, and you have to check for which of the values the function value is maximum. So let's for example, for f2 this is this height, but for f4 this is this height. Okay, so now which one is greater? F4, right?
F4. Yeah.
So now your range will be what? Y minimum to f4. Okay, and this will be closed because f4 is occurring. The 4 value is there in the domain, so that's why I'll close this. And if 4 was not occurring, I would have opened that. If 2, and then at that particular point, even though the 2 was open, we don't worry about that because 2 itself is a less value. So that's why we'll not be opening or closing anything. We will just see at which particular point the function value is maximum, and then we'll see that at that particular point whether the domain was open or closed, and then according to that we'll put the value of a range. Is this clear now?
So for
Yes,
C,
yes.
you are saying if it is open bracket,
If
then
it is
also we
open,
would give a close bracket on the maximum.
because y4 is occurring, right? We don't worry about 2. So f2 was
Yeah,
itself
yeah,
a small
yeah.
value.
In that case, in this case, but if C would have been used, f of 2 would have been maximum, then we would have worried about the bracket on the C side.
Yeah, let's for example, this is the case now, the 2 to 4, and now this is open and this is closed. Now this will be open, right? Because f2, f4 at f, okay, at f4, if this is 4, right? So that means this is a this is not, this is basically open. But f4 is, you are not getting f4 exactly, but you're tending to f4, but you didn't got the f4. Okay, if you didn't get f4, that means that will be an open bracket.
Right.
Is this clear to everyone, or should I take some values and then it will be better to you?
So just one clarification.
Sir.
Yeah.
Something values.
Yeah,
Okay.
if we switch over this and say that the square bracket comes on the right side and the parentheses come on the left side for
Okay.
D,
Okay.
and we get the maximum at 2, then
Then
how would we write? We would still
then it will
write it
be
the same
open.
way, right?
Then it will be open.
Same way. Okay, got it. Thank you.
Right. Yeah. Okay. I'll take one example where the values will be there.
Sir.
Yeah.
Hello. Sir, consider example x square, let's say.
I'll just take this. Let's for example, this is a polynomial. Okay. Let's for example, this is x minus 2 ka whole square, or not x minus 2. Some polynomial where you are getting the minima at this point, and the minima is occurring at 2. Okay.
Okay.
The minima is occurring at 2, and the value that you are getting at this particular point is 2 comma, let's for example 7 you are getting. So some quadratic equation is there where the minima is occurring at 2 comma 7, and the function value at some domain, let's for example the domain given was 1 to 10, and at 1 the function value, so this is 1, right? So at 1 the function value is somewhat like, at 2 it is 7, so it's, let's for example this is 9, and at 10 the function value was, let's for example some 50. Okay, these all things you can calculate it from the polynomial, it's the quadratic equation, right? So if we have been given the quadratic equation, you can calculate the value of f1, f10, all the things. F1 you can directly put in the polynomial, the quadratic equation itself. F10 you can directly put in the quadratic equation, you can get the value of f1 and f10, right? Now you can be asked, what's the domain for this 1 to 10? Okay, the domain of the quadratic equation from 1 to 10. So for those questions,
Range, no, sir.
Right?
sorry,
Range.
this is range
Also.
yeah. So if you have been asked to calculate the range, okay, for the given domain, so for the given domain, if the range has been asked to you, what you will do is, first of all, the minima will always be same every time, because minima is occurring here, right? So you'll start from here. So 7 will be there because you will write it here, y minimum. Now you'll check it, and upon 1 and 10, whichever is the maximum, because the range will be from some minima to maximum, right? So
10.
whichever from f1 and f10, which is maxima, f10, right? So at f10, what is the value you are getting? 50, right?
50.
So 50.
Okay.
Close it.
So consider a case if we are given for same polynomial, and we have to calculate the domain range between, for the given domain, 3 to 10.
Okay, 3 to 10. 3 to 10 if you have been asked. Okay, so the one thing, calculate for f3 and f10. So if, let's for example, this is 3 and you are getting here it is 10. Okay, so now the range will be what? 10 to 50. Because you are getting minima as what? 10. You are not getting 7, because that's 2 itself is not in the domain. So how can you write by minima here?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, thank you.
Everyone got this, right? If the minima point is not been there in the domain, you can't write that, right? Because you have to check at which particular point you are getting the maximum, at which value you are getting the maxima, minima and maxima. So those value will be writing. In this case, you will not be writing 7 because that 2 itself is not in the domain. 2 is there in the domain? No, right?
Yeah.
So that's why you'll not write 2.
So if this one is open, domain is given open braces. So
Okay.
range will be also in open braces.
Okay, if this is open, so both will be open.
Yeah.
Because you can see that f3 exactly 10 you are not getting. 10s to 10 you are getting because 3 is not included in your domain. 3 tends to 2.9 what, so 3.01 is there, but 3 exactly is not there, right? So that's why you'll not be taking 10. So that's why I have opened it. And again at 10, f10 is not there because you have told me that the domain is open. So f10 is not there. That means 9.99999 is there, but 10 exactly is not there in the domain. So that's why I took it as a tends to 50, not
Open
exactly
braces.
50.
Yeah. Okay.
Is this clear to everyone now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's move this. So this type of problem can be asked. So aware
Sir,
of this
I
one.
have a question regarding the mock test.
We'll solve that after discussing all the concepts. Okay.
No, sir.
First,
Actually, sir, my problem is different. Actually, I can give the mock test due to some internet issues. So it will be affect me heavily.
no, that won't affect you. Mock test is just for the practice sake, so you can practice it later also. Do not worry about that. Yeah.
Actually, many mock tests there will be written that it is going to be graded.
Mock. There will be some bonus marks regarding that, but the marks directly will not be considered in your in the quiz. But there will be some bonus marks for that.
Oh,
It's better to finish it, but if you are not able to due to some maybe the internet issue or whatever, you can just practice it later also. Yeah.
okay, okay.
But it's better that you practice because those type of problem can be asked in the exam also. Okay, so how many of you have I told you in the last session, how many of you have solved the previous term paper, at least one paper? Have anyone tried that? Have anyone solved even a one paper, previous term paper? No, huh? Okay, so I'll again reiterate that, and then why I am not telling you to go and solve all the graded assignments. Okay, again, if you have solved it once, that is fine. If you have copied it, so you should solve that at least now before the exam. If you have copied from somewhere the graded solution. So only two things I'm asking you to solve: the previous term, at least two previous term paper, plus the graded assignment if you have copied. If you haven't copied, you can just skip this one, graded assignment. You can just solve the, then if you are not solving graded assignment, you just take the previous term paper 2, 3, 4, then you can solve those. Okay, that will be sufficient for you. Yeah,
So previous term paper is available in YouTube. Is it? Or where
it's
it is
available. The TS will has that paper. Maybe while solving, they are sharing that, right? So you can ask in that session itself. They have the paper, but most of the people, I guess, generally have that previous term paper. But if you don't
Okay.
have, you can join the. So today we have a session. I don't know at the timing. I guess this is 4 from 6. You can join it. You can just ask him. He'll share it. This paper there.
Oh.
That is from 4 to 6. You can join it at that time. Even for 5 minutes, if you are busy, you can just take out like some for 5-10 minutes. You can join it there. You can ask them to share. Or maybe you can just you're not getting time, you can ask me on the mail. I'll just share that paper. So
Hello.
yeah.
Sir, yesterday there was two session on the same time, so I am not able to watch the mathematics. So because of there is another session of statics happening. So can you and they are not uploaded the video recorded video on the calendar. Can you please ask them, sir?
That will be uploaded today. Oh, which session you are asking? Which session happened at the same time?
PYQs.
Okay, I'll upload the video for today. It will be uploaded for sure. Okay, don't worry about that. So it will be there in the calendar. Okay, so till now we have discussed the quadratic equation, the standard form, the So slope you have already known, range and domain you have known. Now you know the range and domain. The roots you know already. You know how to calculate the roots, correct? See, for this equation, I'm asking you one question. The quadratic equation has been given to you. Now you calculate the range for this equation and then tell me the domain I've given you is from 0 to 3. Both are closed. Sorry, 0 to 3. One is open, one is closed. Now tell me the range for this polynomial, this quadratic equation, the given quadratic, this quadratic equation.
Minus 1 by 2, comma 3.
1 by minus 1 by 3. Minus 1 by 3 to
2, comma. No, sorry, it's not 2.
Minus 1 by 2, comma 3.
no 3 though is not there, like
3 by 2. 3 by 2. 3 by 2 is the starting range.
starting is what?
3 by 2.
3 by 2.
So 3 by 2 and 2.
Hey, 3 by 2, how is this possible?
So starting from 0.
Sir, it
Not
is not
even
possible.
Minus
this
1
is
by 4, sir.
correct,
Minimum.
correct.
Sir,
That will
it's
be a
minus
negative
1 by
value.
5.
Yeah, that will be some negative value, not the exact.
Minus 1 by 4, sir.
Okay, so you have to check the minima. So what's the minima for this case? I guess half is the minima. From the symmetricity, I'm directly saying you half. If you are putting the value half here, so 1 upon 4 minus 3 by 2 plus 2. What is that you are getting? So 1 upon 4 plus 1 by 2.
Okay,
right?
okay, sir. Got it.
Correct? This will be a starting point from here. And the maximum value that what you are getting is at 3, right? At 3, what is the value you are getting? 2, right? So this is the value you are getting 2. This is the height, the maximum height, y maximum. And the minimum is what? What is the value you are getting minimum? Y minimum you are getting this one, right? This is y.
Minus
Correct?
1 by 4. Yeah.
So the value that you are getting in here, that will be, range will be y minimum to y maximum, and that y maximum is 2. Directly you can see that.
So can you
Right?
tell me why you written here 1 by 4, 3 by 2 plus 2?
Okay. So what is the minima that you are getting?
Minus 3 by 2.
Okay, minus 3 by, no, I just took it as a like symmetrical. That was symmetrical, but that was not correct, because you have to calculate it. You have to calculate it. So what is the 2x minus 3, right? So you are getting x equals to 3 by 2. Okay, so 3 by 2, at 3 by 2, what is the value you are getting? 3 by 2 square minus 3 by 2 into 3 plus 2. So this should be the minimum value. Whatever the value you are getting, that should be the exact value.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, that was my mistake. I took it as a half. That was my mistake. That should be 3 by 2, not 1 by 2.
You are taking axis of symmetry.
No, I just got mistakenly. I took it as a half. That should be 3 by 2. Even from the symmetry, you can see that this should be somewhere 3 by 2, 1.5.
Sir,
Because
sir,
this
you
is
Minus
told
b by 2 directly we can put, no? Minus b by 2.
that also you can put it. Minus b by 2. Directly you can put.
sir, sir,
Yeah.
sir, you told that finding range we have to put the domain values, correct? 0 to 3. Sir, 0 to the domain values are 0, 1, 1, not 0, 1, 2, 3, correct?
No, see, what I was saying is to calculate the range, 0 to 3 is fine. You can put directly f0, and you can check f0 and f3. Okay. But
Okay.
in between also you have to check, right, at which particular point the function value is minimum. Maximum you can get it from f0 and f3. But the other thing also you have to check, right? Because f0 is also 2 and f3 is also 2. That doesn't mean that it's this function between 0 to 3 will always be 2 value.
No, minimum we can find from this vertex, what you are telling.
If you are able to find the minimum, you can calculate the maximum from this 2, and then you can directly say that. So range
So we
means
have
what?
to, no, again you are putting this vertex to the this equation, correct? What you are telling?
Vertex, yeah. Vertex you have to calculate, because at vertex you have to calculate the minimum value that you are getting. That
But what you
exact
told for this domain, whatever for calculating range, we have to put the domain values in this equation, correct?
See, the basic thing about calculating the range value is what are the values that you will be getting from the quadratic equation. What are the exact value that you will be getting from the quadratic equation after putting this domain? Okay,
Okay.
from 0 to
Okay.
3, from 0 to 3, all the values from 0 to 3. Why we
Okay.
are checking at 0 and 3 is because minimum we already know, maximum we have
Okay.
to see. Okay,
So
because
okay.
minimum.
Okay.
Got it,
Understood.
right?
Understood.
Okay.
Sir, is it minus 5 by 4, comma 2?
2 is fine. Minus 5 by 4, you can check it. You can just put the value as 3 by 2 here. You just see what's the value you are getting. Okay.
Okay.
I guess this is clear. So we'll shift it to some other topics. So I guess if you are getting the questions from this topic, you'll be able to calculate it. Root and all, you already know that, so there is no problem. Okay, this concept you are knowing. Okay. If I say
Yes,
you,
sir.
if I say you for a two different quadratic equations, so just whatever I'm saying you, just take that as a question 1, 2, 3, and tell me how many of the statements are correct. The first option is for two quadratic equation, for two different quadratic equation q1 and q2, for two different quadratic equation q1 and q2, if both has a determinant as same, both has determinant same, then the roots must be same. The second equation is for the two different quadratic equation q1 and q2, same thing. If d is equals to same, then the roots can be same. And for the again the third equation is for two different quadratic equation q1 and q2, if determinant is same, then the roots can't be same. They can be, may not be same.
I can't understand what I.
So second one is,
Can
I
be
think
same.
second one we
I'll repeat
can
it.
be
I'll
same.
repeat it. Okay, 1 second. So I guess some people are not able to understand the statement. What I am saying is the first statement is I have two different quadratic equation, and for this different quadratic equation, I have discriminant. What I was saying, determinant or what? Okay, so discriminant is same. Okay, that is discriminant, not determinant. That is a different concept. So if the discriminant is same, then the root must be same. The first option. Again, all the same condition, the two different quadratic equation discriminant is same, then the roots can be same, and the third option is the roots may not be same.
May not be same.
Okay.
Sir, can be same or may not be same. Both are true.
Yeah. So how many of you are agreeing for
Sir,
the
two.
first top? How many of
Sir,
you are agreeing?
second and third one be true.
Okay. How many of you are agreeing for the first option? Let's go the option wise option. The first statement. Any of you have a doubt in first option? Okay. First of all, how many of you didn't understand the question? You can directly say that there is no, like, this is the final session.
If there's two real roots, then it will be true, no sir.
So this is our final session. You can ask me whatever you have a doubt, because after the quiz only we'll be meeting again. You can ask me the doubt from the mail or the discourse, but this will be the last session from my side. So we'll be meeting
Sir,
after the
I
quiz.
don't have discourse because I am a qualifier student.
Okay. So okay, for any doubt you can just mail me, but the problem is I'll be also having some other session, because this is the I guess only 2 days are left, so I have some session the other courses also. You can mail me, or you can join the today's session that is occurring at 4 to 6. If you have, you can just go through all the concept. If you have a doubt, you can directly join that session. That will be I get the last session. That will be like taken by some other people, but from my side that will be the last before this quiz. So whatever the doubt you have, you can just ask me. So for this question, if you are not able to understand that, please let me know. If you are not able to understand that question, I'll repeat
Yes,
it.
sir.
So
I
whichever
didn't
question,
understand the question here.
okay, whichever the question I'm discussing, those are the most important questions. Okay, so you should be knowing at least those questions and practice those type of questions. So the first option is, okay, I'll reiterate the questions again. The first question is, the first option is, I'm just giving you two different quadratic equation. Two different quadratic equation has been given to you, and for those two different quadratic equation, the determinant that you calculate is same. Okay, so the determinant that you calculate, b square minus 4ac, that you calculate is same for both the cases. Now tell me whether the roots will be, the first option is root must be same, and then the second option is the root can be same, and the third is root may not be same. You know that this is the value of discriminant that you calculate, right? In the value,
Yes, sir.
minus b plus minus b square minus 4ac
Can be
by
same,
2a.
not ensure it that they are same, despite because of the first term, that is minus b by 2 is also a factor.
Correct. So this is what I was checking. So even though this portion is same, so this is what it's saying, the discriminant is same, that means this portion is same. That doesn't mean the roots will be same, because that b and a can be different for different quadratic equation, correct?
Yes, sir.
Right? So the first option is that must word is a very explicit, like it's a very narrow statement, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
that's why the first option won't be correct, but the second option can be correct, can be same, right? There is a possibility that the b and a will in such a way that the b the this value minus b upon 2l will be same, right? Even though the discriminant is same, may not be same is why, because there is a possibility that both are not same. Even though the discriminant is same, there can be a possibility, but must be same is not the, there can be some situation where the roots you are getting is same, but not always, right? So that's why the
Yes,
first
sir.
statement is incorrect. Now tell me how many of you but didn't understand that. Everyone understood this, the
Yes, sir.
statement? You can ask me, there's no problem in
Yes,
that, I
sir.
can repeat it. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
it's important, so you should be knowing that.
Sir, can you please explain once again?
Okay, see, the first statement saying is discriminant, you know, right? This value, right? B square minus 4ac, that you know. So this is the half part you're called. So whenever you solve for whenever you solve to calculate the root of a quadratic equation, this is the half part, right? So there is some part a and there is some part b, right? Whenever you calculate, let's for example, anything that you calculate, let's for example you calculate such that your value that you get in the end is a plus b by 2, correct? Or maybe a plus b by some 2c that you get. This is saying that for some two different equation, this b is same. If b is same, does that mean that the whole value you'll be getting as the same value for two different cases? No, right? There is a possibility that you can get the value as same, but there is a possibility that you may not also get the value as same. See, from this equation, if you'll see this equation, b minus b plus minus b square plus minus 4ac, for some two different quadratic equation, if this is getting cancelled, that means this is same for both the equation. Does that mean all the things will be same? Minus b upon 2a by the whole equation will be same? No, right? There can be a possibility that that can be same or that can't be also same. Is this clear now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Correct, right?
Okay.
It may not be same or it can be same.
Yeah, so see, it can be same or there is a possibility that, so two different quadratic equation there, you can get some form of a and b such that b square minus 4ac for both the cases are same. Let's for example, b for this case is some 2 and b for this case is some 4, but the equation b square minus 4ac that you are getting for both the equation as, let's for example 5, here also you are getting b square minus 4ac equals to 5. Here a is different, a is 1, here a is 2. Okay, so for both this equation b square minus 4, this is getting your same, but there is a possibility if you will calculate that maybe the roots will be different for some cases, and for some cases they can be same, but this is not compulsory that they always it will be same, right? So this is what it's asking. That's it. Yeah,
So the second and the third option becomes correct, right?
the second and third statements both are correct. Yeah.
Yes, that's
Yes, sir.
So third is saying must not be same.
May not be same.
May
Okay,
not be same.
okay,
Yeah.
make it same.
If it was must not be, then that statement also is incorrect.
Yeah.
But, okay. So let's move to the other part. Now, I guess we have done with the quadratic equation. Quadratic equation, this is what will be asked, nothing more, nothing less. Whatever I've told you, if you, the conceptual clarity is there for all the things that I've told you in whatever the time, 40-45 minutes. If you know everything, whatever I've told you, and then there is no problem. You will solve all the questions from the quadratic equation for sure. Okay, there won't be any question that will be a shocker to you, that will be very difficult, that will be like you will not be able to understand. We didn't kept any question that are difficult. All the questions are simple to moderate. Okay, so even though some questions are there in the practice or quadratic that you are seeing that, and then you got like, how will I solve this problem? There won't be any problem. I'm making you assure that all the problems are pretty simple to moderate. There is not even a single question that is difficult, that is very lengthy. So you don't have any questions. Don't worry about that. So that's why every time I'm saying you to solve the previous term paper, not the practice or the graded one till now. If somebody didn't solve that, the graded, you should be solving that if you have just copied from somewhere, right? So yeah, that's it from the quadratic equation. Let's move to the polynomial part, please. Yeah.
So can you tell about factoring one to solve ones? Solving quadratic by factoring.
Okay, one thing, if you have been asked in the example to solve a quadratic equation, you will not be asked to use some specific method. You will be asked to calculate the root, not this any specific method. So don't worry about that. Okay, should be knowing one method to solve a quadratic equation, not all the method is required to. So only one method. If you are knowing that, it's better. You just use those method only. Do not try to solve with some different methods and all. Okay, again you'll get confused in the exam. It's better one method. If you are knowing any method, if you are knowing, just use it like every time to solve the quadratic equation. Will not be asked
Sir,
because
which method will be so familiar for all the questions?
What?
Which method will be easy to solve all the questions?
You have the formula, right? For some, see, there is not a direct for some equation that you are able to see that you are able to factorize that, you'll be able to do it. But the best method, if you don't want to do any mistake, is to use the formula that minus b by 2 a plus minus that discriminant value. That method, you use it, you'll not get any like issues. Like you'll not be able to mistake. Even though if you are making mistake, you'll check it, right? If you are checking it with that formula, you'll come to know that this is what you are doing, the error. So it's better every time you calculate with the method. Yeah. So if I'm asking you one question, yeah.
Sir, how do we define complex roots on graph? Isn't it
Complex root is not in the syllabus. You don't have to worry about that. Complex root will not be asked. Okay, and not been taught. What did I say? Whatever we have taught you in the lectures and in the live session, more than that, there won't be any question. So y equals to, this is the question, and then you have to calculate the slope at 5,6. What should be the value?
So, sir, we use parabola formula
10a plus b, sir.
2a plus b.
10a plus
b.
Correct.
How come 10a, sir?
What is the formula for the slope?
2ax plus b.
2ax plus
b.
2ax plus b.
Put the value of a here. So 5 into 2 is 10. A plus b. Okay. So this simple, this type of problem will be there. This much simple. So the basic concept, if you have, will be able. So all the questions are pretty like easy to moderate. That means some of them are conceptual. Okay. There won't be any lengthy like 10 state like difficult problems. All the questions are conceptual. If you are knowing, you'll be able to solve that. Okay, again I'll ask you again one question. And after the quiz also we'll meet, like after 1 or 2 days later, we'll meet and then we'll discuss about the questions. So one question is, you have a The first statement is number of minima is 3, number of maxima is 2, number of maxima is, let's for example, this is value 1, this is 2, this is 3. Maxima is 3. The fourth statement is this is increasing function from minus infinite till 1. How many of the statements are correct? How many of them are correct?
Sir, third one
Only
is correct.
fourth one.
Sir, 3 and 4. 3 and 4.
3 and 4.
3 and 4 is correct. No issues.
Yes,
No,
No,
no one is
1.
having any issue, right?
Yeah. 3 and 4.
How come minima is only 2, no sir? Then you have mentioned 3.
Minima.
That's wrong option.
Maximum 3, not minimum.
Yeah.
This is maxima. This is maxima. Sorry. So maybe I'm writing A
Can
as
you
a,
repeat?
I'm just writing A as a different thing. Okay. So this is M X X. Okay. Sorry. This is what I was writing. And then this is A. Maximum is 3. Okay. Now this is visual, right?
Sir, can you repeat?
Okay. Question or what should I repeat? Because I didn't discuss the solution.
Sir, is this functions decreasing 3 to infinity?
Yeah, this is decreasing. So again, the one more option can be created. Decreasing from 3 to infinite.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Option 4, can you explain?
The answer only, sir.
Fourth option is increasing from minus infinite to 1. Okay, let's mark it that. The first option. Okay, I'm discussing the solution now. Let's wait. Okay, and after that we can discuss if you're not able to understand that. The first option, the number of minima. This is just for the sake of number of minima this counting. What is the minima? So you can see that I'll just indicate the minima as white and the maxima as some different color. So this is minima. Here it is occurring minima, or you can say the local minima also it can be written. So this is one minima. This is the second minima, right? 2 minima is occurred. The maxima is here. So this is a local maxima also. I didn't ask you to know about the exact thing, but at least you should be knowing the simple thing to count the where it is occurring. So now how many maximas are there?
3 maxima.
3 maxima. Okay, so this statement is incorrect. Again, so this statement is correct. Now, how many minimas are there? 2. That means this statement is also incorrect. Now tell me how many if you are not able to understand this much only. I didn't came to the increasing and decreasing. This much, how many if you are not able to understand? Everyone is. Okay, let's move to the,
This minus alpha to 1, right? Can you please explain that fourth one?
Fourth one. Okay. Fourth one I didn't came. So first 3 option is clear, right?
Yeah, clear. That is.
Okay. Now come to the fourth option. The fourth option is it's asking whether the function is increasing from minus infinite to 1. So this function would be somewhat like this, right? This function would be somewhat like this. That means what? This function is increasing, right? From minus infinite to it's coming to 0. 0 means the y value. So y value was earlier it was minus infinite. Now it has came to 1. In between it doesn't have any sharp end or anything, right? So it's from here in minus infinite to it came to 0 directly, like coming with some.
So that line can be also set as linear.
What?
That can also be set as linear, no sir?
That can be linear, anything from minus infinite, but not written, right? So it is coming somewhat like this. That means it's increasing from minus infinite to 1. Okay, and again from 3 to infinite, it is going down, right? From 0 to minus infinite, it is going again. That means it is decreasing. The function value started decreasing, right? Correct?
So we can tell minus infinity to 3, it was increasing.
Minus infinite to 3. No, how can you write that? You can't write 3 to infinite, it is decreasing. Minus infinite to 1, it is increasing. This much you can say. Nothing more, nothing less. Yeah, you can say
how
that.
Come, sir?
Sir, hello, I have a doubt.
Yeah, yeah.
Sir, in the exam, they given the graph or any polynomial functions
They
to draw.
No, they won't be. Yeah, polynomial function they can give you to draw, but they'll not be asking from which value to which value this is increasing or decreasing. From the plot only they can give you to count the number of minima or from where it is increasing and decreasing, because these are the basic concept that you should be knowing. Okay. For the
Okay.
polynomial, to draw the plot that has been taught to you. So if they have taught you anything, they can ask you. Okay. They've taught you to plot how to plot the, at least not the plot, but at least get an idea. They'll not be asking you to plot like the pen and paper because it's a CBT test, right? So from plotting means you should be, they can ask you some questions such that without plotting you'll not be able to solve. So you have to plot it somewhere, like maybe the pen and paper that will be given during the exam. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Sir, how can you say max is equal to 3? It's
Okay.
a x value, right?
X, so number of max, not max, number of maximum.
Number of maximum.
Huh.
Okay,
So
okay,
you
okay.
can see that at which point, this point this is getting some maximum, this point this is getting maximum, and this maximum you don't have to worry whether it's a local or maximum. Like it's a local only, it's like local. You can be written local or normal. So you just take it as a maximum and minimum only. At
Sir,
least
how
for
can we find the minimum number of possible degrees
Minimum is
by the
1 to
graph?
2 only, no? Minimum is 1 to 2, right?
okay,
The
I'll
graph.
again discuss. Let's come again. I'll solve some more problem. Let's discuss some more problem. Okay. I guess. So the
Sir, can
first
you give
simple example.
examples of polynomials and draw the graph?
I'll start with first, because quadratic equation you are comfortable. So let's see quadratic equation. Now the first question is the number of maxima is 1. The number of minima is 1. The function is, let's for example, this is 5, is increasing from, this is let's say minus infinite to 5, decreasing from 5 to infinite. How many of the statements are correct?
1, 3, 4, sir.
Sir, 1 and 3.
Sir, 3 and 4 and
And
1
4
are
also.
correct.
What about the first statement?
Maximum is equal to 1.
I'm
True, sir.
asking what is the number of maximum? Number of,
Yeah, yeah.
if you have a quadratic equation, for sure you'll be having 1.
One
Okay.
more.
Minima? No minima, right? Because you're not, no minima.
Yeah.
Because at least for this case, you're not getting anything. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm not going into the minor detail why it is like if you have been given some domain and all, that's not important for you as of now. You just should be knowing, okay, local maxima is, how many local maxima are there? 1. Okay. Local minima, if you have been asked, no local minima. So this is an incorrect statement. Now come to the third statement. The function is increasing. So this function, if you are plotting this quadratic equation, it will go somewhat like this, right? It is increasing from some minus infinite.
Minus
It was earlier minus infinite. It came to here, right? At 5, whatever the value it is, it came here, right?
Yes, sir.
Again, so from minus infinite to whatever the f5 it came. So it is increasing. Now from here it is started decreasing. That means from 5 to infinite it is decreasing. Is there any doubt in this case, the quadratic equation case?
No, sir.
No. Can we move to polynomial?
The reason why you bracket right?
Yeah, sir.
Bracket. What bracket?
No. So is that the reason why you keep the bracket for the curve bracket for 5? So minus infinity to 5.
I'm not able to hear you.
Your voice is not coming.
So his question is about increasing from minus infinity to 5. Why have you kept parentheses rather than square brackets?
Yes.
Okay. You can keep it like this also. Okay.
Yeah.
Just for the sake of writing, I just wrote it, even though that was also correct. And if I am just closing it also, that is also correct, right?
Sir, sir, the quadratic always rise from left and goes to right, correct? Or we can take rise from
no, this also can occur, right? This also can occur, right?
No, what
Then
I'm
it will
saying,
be
always it will be from left hand to right hand, not from right hand to left hand.
left hand to right hand means because it will go from minus infinite to infinite, right? Minus infinity is the
I can
lowest
take this
value.
side also. Quadratic 4 also minus infinitive and quadratic 2 also plus infinitive. Like that also I can take now.
I'm not able to get it. What you're saying? Can you give some?
He's actually saying, sir, that traversing from positive infinity towards negative infinity, which we'll never do.
No, you should not be going like this, right? You should always be going like this from some lesser
That's
value
it.
to the more value. Yeah, you can't go it like this. Again, everything will get the opposite of that. Okay, so you'll get confused in the paper and then you'll do mistakes. So why are you wanting to do that? Do not do that. Yeah.
So, could you take a doubt from the mock 2 section that's related to
Take
quadratic?
take the doubts. Yeah. First, whatever I have thought of discussing, I'll discuss. Then only I'll take the doubts. Okay. Otherwise,
Okay.
again, I'll discuss the mock, and this whole portion will get left. So whatever I have thought, I've just went through whole paper and then came to discuss some of the important topics that can help you in the paper. I'll discuss mock also in the end after discussing all the concepts. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please, sir. Yep.
Sir, can you please share your PDF?
I'll share that PDF. Okay. So this is clear for the quadratic equation. Now for the polynomial, you were facing issue. For the polynomial, this is a polynomial. Okay. Now tell me at how many points you are getting the local minima?
2 points.
2 points. Anyone has any doubt in this?
No, sir.
No. Correct. This is the minima. This is minima. At how many points you are getting the local maxima?
2.
2.
2. 2. If this is 5, this is 7. The function is increasing from 7 to infinite. Is this correct or not?
Yeah,
Yeah,
correct.
correct.
Correct. The function is increasing from minus infinite to 5. Is this correct?
Yes, sir.
Correct. I guess this is clear now. I don't think so anybody has doubt in this at least. Right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's move now.
Sir, can you take a small example of polynomial function and draw the graph, please, sir?
Yes. So this was done. Let's move to fourth week. We didn't came to fourth week itself. So let's move to fourth week now. Now we'll solve some problems and we'll plot some. So quadratic equation is done. Now, okay. So for the polynomial, this addition, division, this classification and all, I'm not discussing. I'm thinking that you already know those cases. Any
Yeah, sir.
polynomial, what's the degree? The degree should be knowing how, if you happen, this all is very less likely that this will be asked in your exam, but at least you have some idea regarding this type of problem. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division is important, that you should be done. Let's discuss. So some problem is there. Division is also not that difficult. It's just that you should be aware how generally you divide. Some maybe 3-4 questions you can practice it from the division part of, okay, and you'll be able to solve that. Okay. In the division, anybody has any issue in the division part?
No, sir, no issue.
No, sir.
No issue, right?
It
Okay.
is very simple.
So now let's draw some polynomial. I'll just take one example and then we'll draw. This also is important. If you have a polynomial of n degree, the number of turning point, the maximum number of turning point will be n minus 1. Okay. The concepts are important. Let's draw some problem. Okay, I don't have anything. I'll just take one example and then we'll draw.
Screen is not visible.
Yeah. I'll just wait for some 2 minutes. I'll just. Is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's take some example. So let's, for example, you have an equation. Okay, so the steps that you should be following. Okay, now tell me what should be the maximum number of turning point that this plot can have.
11, right? It's 11.
11.
11.
10.
Yeah. What's the degree for this polynomial?
12.
12.
12.
12 plus 1 plus 4 plus 5.
What's a degree? Sorry, sir.
12,
Okay, so
sir.
the degree that you can calculate it. No problem in that. This is important concept. You should be knowing that. Okay, and you have to check what has been asked, at maximum or the exact number. There is a difference between the maximum that the polynomial can have, or the exact. For the exact, you have to plot the polynomial. If you have not been asked the exact, if it is written like the number at most wherever it is written, you can directly write it as n minus 1. Okay, yeah, let's solve this. How will I solve this? If I have to plot this, I have to, okay, so for this question, it has been asked, the number, first question that has been asked is the number of turning point that you have to count, the exact number of turning point. Can you please mute? Who is that? Turning points. Okay, so the first question is the number of turning points that has been asked, and then the second question it has been asked is
Sir, roots. How many roots of this equation?
roots also, that you can directly see that. Okay, how many number of unique roots, that also you can see directly. Okay, and then
Sir, how many
Sir,
multiple?
I have sent the question in chat box. Can you see that?
yeah, multiplicity Multiplicity also without plotting. So the most important thing is the turning point you can get without plotting this. Multiplicity of all the values you can get it
What is
directly.
multiplicity?
Multiplicity is the simple thing, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll discuss all the things. Let's plot this.
Sir, in previous term questions, it was asked for the peak points for the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Peak point.
Yeah, sir. Peak
Yeah.
point also.
To calculate the peak point, you should be given some more information. Okay. Without directly, if you have been given you the polynomial, you can calculate the peak also, but for that you should be knowing some extra information like differentiation and all.
Peak means
Sir,
maxima,
point
sir.
Hmm?
Peak means
0.
maxima, sir.
Peak,
Why we consider as a y peak?
Sir, there will be question from peak value or not.
Okay, see one thing. So whatever is not been taught in the live session and the lectures, that won't be asked. That you can, I can assure you that for sure.
Sir, it was asked in previous term questions. Like it
I'll
is
have to
in
see the
the
question whether the whatever you are saying is the direct is correct or you are asking some different thing. Okay, I have to check that. Okay, you can just post it on the Discord. Not post it on the Discord. You can chat box screenshot. I'll see that in the end. Okay, is this
Sir,
clear?
it is in it
Okay,
was
sir.
in the solve with Professor Andrews session.
Andrew.
Yeah, it was asked in his session.
Andrew sir is not taking this stats one session. Sorry, maths one course.
He is not taking so, but there was a session recorded and uploaded.
Maybe you're asked that is for different course. Maybe maths one.
Sir, please continue with this question.
Yeah. As of I know, he take the session like he can take any courses, but he's taking some other courses as of I know. So maybe okay, let's discuss this. I'll discuss that question also. Just put it on the whatever you have a doubt. I'll discuss those questions. Okay, don't worry about that. To plot this type of questions, you can be asked 3-4 different type of questions from the given plot. Okay, so for the given plot, I told you what type of problem can be given can be asked. But for a polynomial, the equation, if the equation they are giving you, then they can ask you this type of 3-4 different types of questions. Turning point, to get the turning point, you have to plot the exact. If they're asking you to calculate the exact turning point, you have to plot that. Okay, without plotting, it will be very difficult for you.
Your
Is
screen.
it visible now?
No, your screen is off now.
Your screen is not visible.
The screen is not visible, sir.
Yeah. Is it visible now?
Yes.
Sir, visible.
So to plot any type of this equation that has been given to you, the first thing is you should be knowing the leading coefficient. Okay, and how does this function behave? Okay, so the first step you should be knowing is, so 2-3 different points you have to calculate the value, like f infinite and f minus infinite. That you should be knowing the function value at infinite and the function value at minus infinite. Okay, there's no confusion in that. So the first thing that you should be calculating is the function at the value at f infinite and the function value at f minus infinite. You can remember, like if you are getting the problem in putting the value at infinite here and then calculating, you can remember this whole 8 things. But I will prefer, like I tell you to directly put it the value and then get an idea. It's better to not get confused in the exam by just remembering this all 4-5 things. Okay, directly put the value at f infinite. If you are putting f infinite, what is the value you are getting? Can you tell me at f infinite what is the value you are getting?
Sir, it will be infinite.
F infinite is infinite.
Yeah.
At minus infinite,
It is
It's
also
finite.
infinite.
that is infinite, right? That means now at least a basic idea I have got for this polynomial, that it will start from here,
It's
some
open
infinite.
upwards.
At minus infinite it will be infinite, and at positive infinite also, sorry, at positive infinite also the value will be positive, right? So this function has to come from here, has to go here,
Yeah.
right? So
Yes,
from
sir.
here it has go
Positive
to
to
here.
positive.
Correct. So it will be coming from positive infinite to positive infinite. So it has to go somewhat like this. In between you have a root. So now can you tell me what are the roots of this polynomial? So the roots are those values
Minus
where it is
6.
cutting the axis. Okay. Roots,
Yeah,
you can say the
-3,
zeros of the
-5, 4,
polynomial,
2.
whatever you want to call that. So zeros,
-5, -6.
yeah, zeros or roots, or you can say the x-intercept, all that same. Okay, that means wherever it is cutting the x-axis, that is root or that is zeros of a polynomial. Now you have 4 different unique roots. Now this question is solved, right? 4 different unique roots. Okay, now you can see that 2 is a root, 4 is a root, -5 is a root, -6 is a root. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Now tell me, what is the multiplicity of 2? Multiplicity is pretty simple concept, that it is asking that what is the repeated, like the number of repetition of that root. So 2 is occurring 2 times, right? There is a power, so you can directly write at whatever the degree of the power. Okay, for this x variable, that will be the multiplicity. So you can see that for this 2, the multiplicity, I'm just writing with the red one, this 2 is the multiplicity. Now for x equals to 4, what is the multiplicity? 1.
1.
For 5, what is the multiplicity? 4.
4.
For 6, what is the multiplicity? 5.
5.
Like -6 or -1. Okay. Now you have to plot this. If I have to plot this, first write the where is the root. So -4 is the root, -2 is the root, 5 is the root. Sorry, sorry.
-4, -6, -1.
Yeah, -6 is the root, -5 is the root, -4, sorry, 4, sorry, 2
2.
and 4. Correct. Let's come from minus infinite. So this is minus infinite.
Why is it all minuses in plus and in plus and minus?
What minus? What minus plus? I didn't get you.
Sir, please check why you take minus infinite. You take positive infinite.
Why did I take this minus infinite and plus infinite?
Yes, sir.
This is just an
End
This
behavior.
just we took it to just check how it is behaving in the end. This is basically you called it as a end behavior. So thanks for that. Yeah. So this is just to check how the function is behaving. Nothing more. Okay. So we'll just put the value of infinite. We just got an idea that the function is infinite at infinite. Sorry, minus infinite, and the function is infinite at infinite. Okay, just to get an idea that I have to come from here, I have to go till here, right? In between I have a root. So at root the function will be 0, right? Because these are the zeros of the polynomial, right? So from positive, so you can see that from here I'll start and then I'll go till here, right? Because at this point I have to meet 0 because this should cut the x-axis, right?
Yes, sir.
Now
Because
the multiplicity will come handy. So now you have a multiplicity concept, right? You already know that if the multiplicity for -6, what is the multiplicity?
5. It is odd.
It's odd and proceed down.
Correct. So minus at -4, -5 it is 4. For 2 it is 1. For 4 it is 2. Now you already know that if the multiplicity is odd number, that is basically odd. So what should be the behavior of a polynomial?
It cross x-axis.
Yeah,
It should
cut
cross.
the
Yeah, it should
x-axis.
cross x-axis. If the multiplicity is an even number, then it should
Bounce
bounce
back.
back.
Bounce back.
Right? It should bounce back. Okay. If again it is odd number, that means cross and then
Here
again
bounce.
back. This idea you got. Now I have to start it. So I have started from here. I went till here. Now -6 as a cross, like 5 odd number. That means it should cross the x-axis. It will cross x-axis. Again it will remember that I have to go till -5 because I can't go till minus infinite, right? I can't go to minus infinite. I have to go to -5 because -5 is the root. At -5, the values, the function value should be 0. So again, it will go till here. At -5, it will remember that, okay, -5 as a even that multiplicity. That means I can't cross. I have to be at this side only. So I'll go like this. Again, it will remember that I have to.
Sorry, sir, but for root 2, it should bounce back, and for 4, it should be cross.
Okay, sorry.
So for 4, multiplicity is 1, right?
Oh, that is correct. 5 is correct. 2 and 4 is
Yeah, it is. It should bounce back. For 2, what is the multiplicity?
cross back. 2 is crossing.
It should cross. Yeah, this is what I wrote it. But did I
The
wrote?
2 will bounce back, right? Because the multiplicity is 2.
Yeah. This is 2. Sorry.
And 4 will cross.
So multiplicity of 4 is 1.
1.
Okay, let me just write it. Otherwise, I'll teach you something else. Okay, let's -6. Yeah. This is 5. This is 4. Okay. This is odd number. It will cross this. Right. This is come back. This will come back. This is cross. Okay.
Yes.
Let's discuss this now. Okay. So it has started from infinite. It came minus because it has to come to minus at 0 at -6. Again, it has to come to -5 at 0 at -5. It has to come here also. It has to come here. So this all point it has to like you have to connect this all dot. You have to connect this dot also. You have to connect this dot also. But in between, you have to see how are you going to connect this all dots. Okay. You were having this dot also. You have having this dot also. This dot also. Okay, so you have to connect to -5 to 2. You can't connect directly, right? Because you already know that it came here. Now from -5, you already know that it should come back again. It can't cross it. Can it cross it? No, right?
No,
because
sir,
you
it
have a
will not be
multiplicity
crossed.
as an even number, so it can't cross. So it should come like this. It will start coming like this, but again it will remember that at 2 you have to connect this dot, right? So it should go like this. Again at 2, you have seen that no, it can't go like this because it has to come back because it doesn't have an odd number. Add odd as a multiplicity, then again it will start coming back. But it will remember that I have to go at this dot because I have to connect this. So it will
Sir,
go
but
like
2
this.
is an even number, then it will bounce again up only, sir.
It came down, right? At 2 it came down, right?
-6 also even, then why sir it is down?
No, you have to check the multiplicity. You have to consider the multiplicity as an odd or even number, not the exact value. Exact value can be anything. You have to check the multiplicity. If the multiplicity is odd, then it will cross. If it is even, it will come back, like bounce back.
We will not check for the root. We will check for the multiplicity.
The multiplicity character, not the exact value.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So now from 4, yeah.
Sir, for x is equal to -6, since the multiplicity is 5 odd, it will cross, like it will form a S kind of shape.
That okay.
No
need to go into minute details. Like okay, there are so many other things that can be discussed, but are we discussing those things? No, right? How it will cross? You should just be knowing that it will cross. How it is crossing, that should not be important. Okay, that depends on the number of power. Again, how is that? So whether the power is, how big the power is, and then depends on that it will cross. Okay, that much detail is not required. Okay, you just have been taught regarding the basic concept, so stick with that. Like otherwise, if you are go to integrity, you'll do a mistake in the minute, like the simple concepts. Okay, that how does it crossing, it's not important at all. Okay, I don't know from where you have read, but yeah, that's cool that you have read it, but it's not required.
In the lecture, it was said that if the multiplicity is 1, then only it will cut, since it is linear. Else, whenever it is odd, it will cross through x-axis.
It will cross even though the even though the number is 1, it will cross.
No, sir. Whenever the multiplicity is 1, it will cut x-axis.
Yeah, it will
Since it
cut.
is linear. When it is not 1 and odd, then it will cross.
1 is odd number, right?
Yeah.
For
But
odd,
5
it
is odd
cross
and not
the
1.
x-axis.
Yeah, it will cross whenever you are getting odd number. It will cross the x-axis. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
for
the
even,
shape
it
now,
will
the
bounce
shape
back.
depends on the values at what's the multiplicity. Okay, but that much detail will not be required in the exam. Okay, so that's why I'm saying that. Okay. Yeah, even though you have a x-axis, right? See, if you have a linear equation, it will cross right at 0. Even though you have a this multiplicity is what 1 only, right? It is crossing, correct? But the shape
Yeah.
of that will depends on the values, the multiplicity, how big and how small it is. That is not required. That is what I'm saying. Okay. Even though you have a 1 or a 3 or a 5 or a 7, it will cross. But how it is crossing, that depends on the number, the how big or small the multiplicity value is. But here you just have to know it should be crossing. Okay. So whenever you have 5 as odd number, if you know this much, this is more than enough. And again at 4, you already know that it will cross. How it is crossing, not important. This will just cross, it will go to infinite. Anybody has any doubt in this case? And now tell me what's the number of turning points. Now you have plotted this. Now tell me what's the number of turning points. So the number of turning points and the at most, what's the number of at
3.
most that you can
5
get?
turning points.
3.
5
Local
times.
max minima is 1 to 3, sir.
5 turning points.
Good one. So again, you have the number of, I'm asking some more different number of minimum point, number of maximum point. Okay, and then the function is from where it is increasing, where it is decreasing. This all things can be asked. So this topic, this itself, whatever is there in your screen, if you understand this itself, I'm making you assure that you'll be able to solve some 2-3 different questions in the exam itself. Okay, so you should be having clarity of each and everything that we are discussing here. Okay, so from the first question, what is the number of data point, the maximum at most, what is the number of at most data point that you can get? At most turning point, what is the maximum number of turning point that you can get it for this polynomial that has been plotted?
11 turning points.
11.
At most I'm asking the maximum.
5.
N minus 1, right? 12 minus 1, 11.
Okay.
Now the exact number of turning points. What is the exact number of turning points?
5, sir.
5.
Okay,
Okay.
5.
Any confusion in that? If you have, you just ask me.
So
You
please
start.
explain that,
Sir,
sir.
how, sir?
Sir,
Sir, please
explain.
tell me, sir.
Okay. Okay. You start
Turning
from
points.
here. Okay. You start from here. You start. So whenever you are changing the direction, just count that. You started from here. Okay. I'll just
Sir,
take
we
some
can't
different
see
color.
your cursor.
Okay. I'll just take some different color.
Sir,
Yellow
how
color.
number of turning points are 5?
This you are able to see that, right?
3, right?
Let
Yes.
me.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay. So I'll just take. So this you can see now my cursor is visible to you.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
I've started from here. I started going like this. I started going like this. I started going like this. Okay. Now I have to change the direction, correct? Because I can't go like this, right? Can I go like this?
No, sir, we have to turn.
Yeah, you have to turn, right? Okay. Okay. I have to turn it. So this is the first direction that I turn. I have started going like this. Can I go like this?
No, sir. There it was
Sir,
even.
Okay. Right. So how many times I've changed my direction? This is the first time I've changed. This is the second time I have changed the direction.
Yes.
Yes.
Now I'll go again like this. Again, I have started going like this. I came here. I have to change the direction again, right? I can't go like this. Can I? No. Again, I have to change the direction. I have changed the direction. I go like this. I reached here. So again, this is the third turning point. I have changed my direction. Again, I started going like this. I went like this, but again, I have to change the direction. I have to go like this. So this is the fourth point. The fourth, right? And now again, I am going like this. Can I go like this directly? No, I can't go here. So I have to change again the direction. I have to change the direction. So this is the fifth turning point.
Fifth turning point.
Yes, sir. Got
How
it.
many exact number of turning points this plot has? 5. So that means how many times you're changing your direction? That should be the value. Is this clear to everyone?
So,
Yes,
sir,
sir.
the exact turning
Yes,
point
sir.
can
Yes,
only be deducted from a graph.
What?
Exact number of turning points can only be derived after plotting a graph.
Yeah, there is no, you can't you can't calculate without plotting the graph.
Okay, sir.
So wherever you have been asked to calculate the exact number, you have to. If you have not been asked to calculate the exact number, just the simple, like the at most, you can directly say that by n minus 1. Is there any confusion? Anyone?
Yes, sir. This n minus 1, sir. That only.
N minus 1 is the formula directly. If you have been given, so if I'm just telling you one statement, tell me, for a given polynomial, the maximum turning point that you can get is n minus 1. Is this a correct statement?
No, because
The maximum number of turning point that you can get without plotting.
correct.
If you haven't plotted,
Yes.
even you have been given some values in the form of ax, bx, something like that. You can't plot it. Okay. Now the max number of turning point that you can get is n minus 1. This is just the simple formula. Okay. And that you can get an idea also. I'm not going to discuss that. How can you get an idea? But you just remember it. Like maybe we'll discuss some other day. But for now, for the quiz, you just remember n minus 1 is the maximum that you can get. We can discuss that, how generally it came and how we are deriving that, but it's fine.
For any degree n, n minus 1 is the maximum number of turning points. Right?
Correct. Okay. The second is the number of unique. First thing is clear to everyone?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
The second point is the number of unique roots.
It is
Number
also
of
discussed.
unique root is 4. Okay. Multiplicity you already know. Let's come to the number of minimum. Can somebody tell me what's the number of minimum that you are getting?
3.
3. This is the one.
Yes.
This is the second. This is the third. 3. The maximum?
0.
2.
Hey, 0. No, man. This is 1.
1, 2.
This is 2.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. But it is, if it is root, it is 0, right?
Why
Okay.
it will be 0?
See, if you have a plot,
Okay, I got it now. So
got it right. No need to discuss.
I got it.
No need to discuss.
Now increasing. From where to where it is increasing? This is a good one.
Correct.
From where to where it is increasing?
From 4 to
4 to infinite, sir.
Infinite.
Where is 4? Where
3
is
to
4?
3.
4, right?
No, 4 to infinity.
This is 4. This
4
is
to
4, right?
infinity.
This is 4, right? This is 4 to infinite. Okay. Because this point you are not able to calculate it. That's why you can calculate it, but there is no, like, that has not been taught. You can calculate that also, but no point of calculating that. But 4 to infinite, for sure, it is increasing. Okay.
Yes.
And again, from
Yes,
minus infinite till
Minus
here, it will decrease. But if
Minus
you are
1.
asking this also, you can directly write that this is decreasing from here to here. Correct?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Minus infinite to minus 1.
What?
Minus infinite to minus 6.
Minus infinite to minus 6. Yeah. If I'm asking you whether the function is increasing from 0 to 2, is this correct?
0 to
No,
2.
false.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir. It's increasing.
Yes,
It's
sir.
in,
It's
Yes, sir.
0 to 2
it's
is
increasing. The 0 is here, 0 is here,
Yes,
the
sir.
function
0
is
to
here,
2.
and this is
Yeah,
increasing, right? You can
Yes.
see that
Yes.
this is increasing.
yeah.
Okay. And from 2 to 0, it is decreasing, right? This
Yes.
you can
Yes,
see
sir.
that.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So I guess if you are able to understand this, at least you'll be able to solve some problem, 2-3 problems directly. Okay. So I'll erase. Can I erase this? Or
Sir, 1 minute, sir. Sir, just one
yeah,
more question. Sir, the minimum roots and maximum roots. So minimum over here should be two more roots would be added, right? I mean, the
where
minimum.
minimum?
Yeah, it's you
No.
have written 3,
Huh?
and for maximum you have written 2,
Correct.
right?
Huh?
And what about the roots from where it starts? Zeros from where it starts, like 4 and other.
That's why. So again, you are coming. So that's why from starting, I'm calling you. I'm discussing everything about the local one, the local minima and local maxima. Okay. So that's why whenever I'm just taking as a minimum, because this has not been taught the global, local, everything. Okay. So whenever you have been asked to count the number of minima, you just consider that as a local one. So whatever has been given in the figure, okay, you don't have to go to the infinite and this value, because the domain has not been fixed, right? So the whatever the plot has been given, if you have been plot is like this, you should not be going to that this plot will go till infinite, so I have to count this also. That you don't have to. Okay.
Whatever
So
we see on the graph, that will.
that's it. If you have been plot like this is should be your maximum. This number of should be 2, and the minimum should be. This is local we are discussing. Okay. That's why in the starting itself I told you we don't going in the minute details. Okay, whether it's some local or maximum. If you have been written what is the number of local minima, directly count the minimum. If you have been given local maximum, you direct count the maxima. Okay, that's it.
Okay.
Sir?
Yeah.
Sir, when we are taking this from, if the function is increasing from 0 to 2, sir, do we know that the function is has a turning point at 0, or we are just assuming that it's turning at 0?
Because okay, that's a good question. That's very nice. Yeah. Why I was saying it, because it is increasing, because you can calculate the value of f0. If you calculate the value of f0, what should the value you will be getting?
y-intercept.
Y.
Okay, so yeah, that's the good one, because you don't know that at f0 only it is turning, because it can turn here also, right? Because if it is turning here, you can't say. So yeah, that's correct. You can't say anything about from f0 to 2.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because you don't know where it is turning, right? See, the plot that we got is like this, right? But maybe that is turning from here, right? It's not at 0. Right? That point we don't know. That's why we can't comment on that. But at least we can comment from minus infinite to here and from plus infinite to here.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So,
sir.
sir, for point 0, we can substitute x value as 0 and then solve for
We
the
can
equation and hence just
substitute the value. Yeah, but again you have to check for the neighborhood value also, whether it is decreasing or increasing. Maybe there is a possibility that you can calculate the value at f0 that you are getting as 5 minus 5. But maybe there's a possibility that at a very neighborhood of 0. Let's for example 0.5 would be not 0.1, 0.1 or 0.2 is a neighborhood of 0. If you are calculating the value, it is going even downward, right? If it is going like that down itself, you can't comment on that, right? Because it's did you get
okay,
the
okay. Got it, sir.
yeah. Okay, so is this clear to everyone? All the questions that we have discussed. So till now, we have discussed basic concepts about the week 4 and 3. I guess week 4 and 3 is done. Week 1 and 2 also have discussed in the starting. So what I have discussed, some 12, 10, 12 concepts that we have discussed from 1 to 4. Is that clear to everyone?
Yeah.
If you are done, if you are knowing this many concept, basic concept, if the clarity is there, you will be able to solve some 70 to 80% of the questions. Okay, 1-2 questions that may be a moderate to difficult, that you have to crack it in the exam itself. But if you are just knowing this much concept that we have discussed, we'll be able to solve the 80% of the problem. Out of the 12 question, I can see just 1 or 2 questions that is not even difficult, but moderate you can say. But rest 10 questions out of 12 are pretty simple. Okay, you don't have to like those questions will be able taking, if you have the clarity, you'll be taking maximum 1 to half, like 2 minutes maximum, not more than that.
Sir, can you please share your PDF?
Yeah, I'll share that PDF. Okay. Again,
share
I'll
it now itself, sir.
one more thing.
Explain to end the behavior of polynomial function.
In the behavior of a polynomial function, you just have to put the value of f infinite, and if you are not able to understand, what you can do is you can directly remember this thing. If you have an even degree and a positive coefficient, this is how it will behave. If they have an odd degree, positive coefficient, this is how it will behave. Or you can directly put the value as f infinite or f minus infinite, and then see the value how the function is behaving.
This is the
Okay.
best way.
Sir, x-intercept zeros, then roots all are same word meaning.
All are same, yeah.
Okay, sir.
Sir, one more thing, sir. Odd and even function, sir. F of x is equal to. Can you just explain?
That is not odd and even function is been taught. No, right? Odd function and even function is not been taught, I guess.
No, it's the concept is there, right? I mean, for in this week itself, 4th week, f of x.
Odd even function, those odd degree you're asking, right?
No. Odd or even function. F of x equal to minus f of x.
No, that has not been taught. Yeah, I understood that. That is not been fx equals to that is not been taught. Yeah.
Sir, odd degree means the leading coefficient degree. We have to check leading coefficient degree.
Correct. For degree itself, for any polynomial, you have to, if you have to check the degree, you have to see the power of each of the variable, and whichever is the maximum, you directly write it as the degree. Okay, and that will be your leading coefficient also. One more concept I want to discuss is, like, it's not a concept itself, like it's a simple thing. If you have a triangle, what is the formula for the area of a triangle?
1 by 2
half BH.
x2 by
Something is that I okay. You can tell me what's the value?
It's 1 of y2 minus y3
Hey,
plus
breadth into
one
height,
people.
sir.
Can somebody? Yeah, one people can tell me the function.
Breadth into height, sir.
Yeah, sir. This is
y1 into x2 minus
if
x3
somebody,
plus
one more thing, if somebody is just remembering breadth into height, you'll get a good problem in the exam. So remember it in the point, like in the x and y coordinate. Okay.
y1 minus x1 into y2 minus y3 plus x2 into
what x1 into
y2 minus y3 plus x2 into y3 minus y1 plus x3 into y1 minus y2 minus y2.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, if I'm giving you some data points, right? I can't give you the exact because maybe that can. Let's, for example, this is A, B, C, D, and then this is the value that has known to you. If you have been given here something like x and x square, okay, how will you calculate this value x and x square?
Sir, is the area
One more
given?
thing. This is mod. Always remember this should be a mod value. How will you calculate? Just tell me the procedure. How will you proceed with
Sir,
this
I
question?
didn't understand the question.
Point, right? Two distance points, so we have to find out the slope, right?
No, what I'm saying is you know already this value A, B, C, D. You already know this data point has been given. The third coordinate of the is given as x square, and the area is also given as some random values k.
So
Now you have to
just substitute in
Sir,
the
we have to substitute in the formula and we have to get an equation and solve for quadratic equation.
No, I'm asking how many numbers you'll be getting for x. What can be the number? How many numbers you can get it from for x?
So we will get two values.
Two values for what? X or two values of like altogether x and y?
No, x itself two value you will get it, right? Either a plus or minus, both direction will.
How you'll be getting two values?
No, sir, but we have a mod here as well.
Right.
What?
See, if this
So
mod, either it can be positive or negative, right?
So yeah, that's whoever has told that.
Sir, we get only 1 point.
So we get two values for x and one value for y.
Two values of x and one value of y. How is this possible? This is not even possible. It's like
Sir, at -2 we will get 4 and +2 also we will get 4 as
Sir, can you explain, please?
Value
I'll
of x and 1 value of x.
It's better you just teach us.
okay. So what I was saying is, because of the mod value, right? So whoever told that, I guess one girl told that because of the mod we'll be getting two values of x, right?
Yeah, sir. I told too.
Okay, you told. So for any, if you're putting because of the mod in the end, you'll be getting two values of x and again two values of y you'll be getting, right? Can I give you one solution? Let me check whether, because if I'll just give you random things now, that random
Sir,
will...
can you check the question which I shared just now? It is same.
Okay, so this is clear, right? If you, because the mod, if you, okay, one more thing, one concept. Okay, one concept, if you have been given something like that, mod x equals to 5, that means what is the value of x I'm getting?
-5 +5.
So x is what?
+-5.
Plus minus 5. If this is clear, this is fine. So from here itself, so if you're equating mod equals to some area, right? So you'll be getting, if you'll change it, you'll directly, if mod was, let's for example, this mod was somewhat like this, mod x square plus some equation was there equals to 5, that means you will equate it to -5 also and equate it to -5 also, right? And then you will solve and get the value, right? So this is how you'll solve. Then I guess, then you will get the maximum number of x, you can get more than 2 also, I guess, if you're solving a quadratic equation, because then you can get 4 numbers also. Okay, but the concept what I was trying to say is, whenever you have a mod, you just break the mod and then equate the value of k and minus k, and then you try to solve that. Okay, let's solve then some problems that has been shared by you. So if you want to discuss some questions from the mock, you can just ask me from the mock. Okay, mock if you have, otherwise
Sir,
we'll
can
go
you
directly
please
to
share
the...
your PDF
I'll share that
right
PDF.
now?
Okay.
Sir.
Right now.
Sir, no,
Yes,
right
sir.
now, but
Right now.
after solving the doubts.
Okay, right. No, okay. In the chat box, can we share the slides in the chat box?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So in chat box, I posted one question. It's very earlier.
Okay. Okay, I can share it. Yeah, after the session, I'll share it. Okay, you just wait for that time and then we'll share. Okay. So let's discuss mock. Okay, mock, can you tell me mock which questions you want to discuss? Tell me the number, which mock questions you want to discuss.
Sir,
So
parallel question
there
was
is one
important.
question. Sorry, sir. There's one question in the chat, and that we have been discussing for some time. If you can just look
Yes, sir,
at it
can
and
you please
tell
solve the
give us a hint as to how to solve that. Good.
Okay, okay. Let's discuss that. Yeah, which question?
So the last question Vanita shared.
Yeah, sir, it is shared by Vinita.
Yeah, at my time is 10:04 p.m. But it is about two
Okay, so
parabolas.
okay, this is the question. Consider quadratic equation, something like that. Two quadratic equation.
Yes.
Is that the question?
Quadratic polynomial P of x and Q of x.
Okay. This has been taken from previous term paper or where?
Previous term papers.
Okay. So you can see that. Consider two quadratic equation are there, Px and Qx.
Sir, you are not visible.
Their screen is not visible.
Okay, okay, wait. Is it? Is it visible now?
Yes, sir. Now it's coming.
Yeah. Okay.
Sir, your PDF still is not well chat box.
No, I didn't share that. I told you in the end I will share that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Can you see that now?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Okay.
Yes.
So now it has been given that consider two quadratic equation has been given to you. So Px and Qx. Okay. Two quadratic polynomial has been given to you. Okay. Whose roots are shown in the figure. Okay. The roots are there. What are the roots? One is 1,3 and the other is 13,6. Now what are
No,
the
sir.
information?
1,0 and 13,0.
1,0 and 13,0. Yeah, right. 1,0 and the leading coefficient is given as 1 and 1. Okay. So leading coefficient is going to be you. Now
1 and minus 1, right? 1 and
1
minus
and
1.
minus 1 because which one is having 1 and which one is having minus 1? Because here I can't write anything. Okay. So the issue is I can't.
P of x is having +1 and Q of x is having -1.
Yes.
Correct.
No, just both.
That's correct. Okay. Now the y coordinate of the vertices of Px is C. The y coordinate of the vertices of P is C. Okay. And the y coordinate for the vertices minus C. Find the value of D.
D. Find the value of D, the middle point, the D, 0.
Basically, you have to find the root of any of the equation. Correct?
Okay.
So if we have a root of one equation, you can calculate
Sir,
that.
x minus 1 into x plus 1, the x squared minus 1.
See, if you have a okay.
So the
px, okay,
Sir,
px. What is the root of
question
px?
there is
Okay,
an
Is equal to.
Okay, please let me know.
sir for
one. Okay, 1 second. Just give me 1 second.
Sure.
Px. What is the root of the px? What was given there? What is the root given there?
X minus 1, sir. 1 is the root.
Root.
1.
1,0.
1,0. So x minus 1.
0. Yeah, x minus 1 equals.
And x minus d was the other.
Right? For q, yeah, that was the other one, x minus d.
And here, what was the root? And the coefficient, leading coefficient was 1, right? For px?
For
correct?
px, it was 1. Yes.
Okay, minus x. What is the root? Other root of q?
X minus 30. X minus 30 and x minus d.
X minus d. What are the other information? Anything else has been given?
Vertices are C and minus.
Yeah, the y coordinate of the vertex is c and minus c, right? So for p it is c and for q it is minus c, because it is in minus of minus c kind of, right? So that is why.
So, if we see this diagram means a bit more, then we see that at what this vertices, I mean, at both the vertices are should be equidistant because all the points on parabola are equidistant from its axis of symmetry. So if we just have the and take the average of this the far intercepts, then that should be the middle intercept.
Okay.
We can make this x plus x1 plus x2 by 2, right? It's a midpoint, we can take it, right?
Yeah,
no, but for midpoint, we have to prove that both are symmetric, right? Both parabolas are symmetric. Without that, we cannot assume that D is a middle point.
All parabolas are always symmetric. When we have said that one is at +1 and one is at -1, means they are opposite direction as shown in the diagram.
Opposite direction, but that does not mean they're same, right? Meaning their width could be different, right?
Yeah, width definitely can be different, but all the points for an individual parabola are equidistant from this their axis of symmetry, na?
Right. And that is why C is important, right? That is why C is important. We have to consider that vertex is at C and minus C. That means that the half of it is exactly at that location, right?
D will be 2, sir, looks like.
No, but vertex is same. Means vertex.
No, so the axis of symmetry is D by 2 for Px.
Let me give a bit more thought.
Okay. Wait,
The
hold
leading
on.
coefficient of
Let,
P of X is given
let me first discuss this, then only we'll move to the other. Okay, so the quadratic equation has been given to you. Okay, symmetrical, non-symmetrical, the quadratic equation always be symmetrical about their axis of symmetry, but whether this distance is equidistance, that the information is not be given to you. Okay, that whether
Right.
it is equidistance or not. So
Right.
now read it carefully. So two polynomial has been given to you, two quadratic equation px and qs. Q has a negative that is going downward, and px is going upward. So you can
Right.
write it this thing. At least this minimum thing you can write it, whatever I have wrote it here. Now the leading coefficient is plus and minus 1, that is given to you. There is no problem in that. Then you have y coordinate of the vertex of E is C. The y coordinate for the vertex of P is C. So now let's calculate the vertex for the y coordinate for the vertex of P. How will you calculate the vertex? Can you calculate what is the vertex for this quadratic equation? Let's, for example, first write it. Okay, do not do anything. Just write it. Whatever the information has been given to you, just write it. Try to write it. Nothing more, nothing less. X square. If you want to write it, this is x square. Then minus dx minus x plus d. Correct. So you are left with what? X square minus x d plus 1 plus d. Correct. Now, what are the information given to you? It's like difficult for me to go every time and then. Okay, let me.
Sir, you can download the
You,
image and paste
sir,
it.
you can paste the picture on your OneNote.
OneNote.
Yeah, correct.
Sir, from the picture we can
So
have the
you can copy it from here and paste it.
Okay.
We can get two equations of C, I guess, from the vertex.
Now I have the question. So px, I can write it there, and now it has been asked that the y coordinate of the vertex. Okay, how can you calculate the vertex for this equation?
Minus b upon 2a.
Minus b upon 2a. So you can
b
just
upon 2a.
differentiate it dpx upon dx. If you are differentiating, what is the value you are getting? 2x minus d plus 1. Correct. This is what you are getting.
Yes, sir.
Y coordinate. How can you get the y coordinate if you are putting the value of x here? So let's, for example, x is whatever the value. Let it be x itself. Okay, you are getting this. So you got this 2x plus d plus 1. This is what you got. The y coordinate.
Oh, get that, sir.
Okay. So if you have been given the polynomial, if you have to calculate the y coordinate of the vertex, how will you calculate? First, you calculate the vertex at which point it is you are getting, right?
Right.
So the vertex, you will be getting the vertex at which point?
Minus b by 2a.
So x will be what? D plus 1 by 2.
D plus 1 by 2. Yes.
Correct?
Yeah.
There's no problem in that. So equation, whatever we have wrote it correctly, this is totally fine. So this is the point. Now if you'll put the value of x in this equation, whatever the y coordinate you will be getting would be your y coordinate. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Px of this d plus 1 by 2, right, will be the y coordinate.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now what is the information been given to you? Okay, and the y coordinate. So it's not difficult, right? It's like, and for this case also you calculate the same thing. Okay, so this will be c, and this is what? It's minus c. So whatever you are getting it from here, p of d plus 1 by 2, that you get it like minus of q of whatever the value you are getting it here. And if you are creating, you will get the value of d if you have to calculate d. Did you get the point? Okay, I'll repeat it.
Sir, last one I didn't get.
See, here you are getting at the vertex was c, right? This is c. Which value was c? If you are calculating this as a c value, right? And this is minus c, correct? And this c is equals to what? P of d plus 1 by 2. Here also you'll get something. Here also you'll get some form. You can calculate the vertex, right? Vertex also again here will be in the form of some d value, right? So let's for example d of some d, right?
Sir,
One
sorry,
second.
sir. Sorry to
Yeah.
interrupt. Sir, from
One
the
second.
picture.
One second. Just give me 1 minute. I'll
Oh.
somebody. Haan.
Sir, you are not audible.
Okay. Yeah. So sorry for that. My father came. Okay. Let's what I was saying.
From the picture, we can say the
The value
vertex of the
yeah.
second parabola, the top
QX
parabola
is
from
like
13 plus
D.
d by 2, we can
See.
say directly, right?
Whenever you are getting a question, whatever has been said in the question, you just go proceed with that. Do not. So here you just plotted this px, the information that has been given to you. You just wrote the equation. You just calculate the vertex. You calculate the vertex for both the cases. You calculate the y coordinate for both the cases, and then equate those cases because both are c, right? Both are like minus c. Whatever the value you are getting, this is p of d plus 1 by 2. And from here, let's for example, you are getting q of d. Okay, and that will be minus of this, right? If you are equating both these cases, because you have only one equation that is that itself in the form of d as a variable. You'll solve that, right? You'll get the answer. Did you understand that or not?
Yes, sir.
Is this clear to everyone?
Sir, can you
Yes,
solve
sir.
it further?
Okay, let's then you have to tell me what is the value you are getting for q.
Minus of d plus 13 by 2.
Minus of d of?
Minus of d plus 13 by 2.
Okay, whole minus, huh?
Yes, sir.
No, sir, it would be plus because
d plus 13 by 2.
Yeah,
d plus
d
13
plus
by
13
2.
by 2 because it is
Okay.
minus x. The leading coefficient is negative.
Then put the value. What is the equation that you have got? X d plus 1 by 2 minus 1 times d plus 1 by 2 minus d equals to minus of this. Minus minus got cancelled, so it will be plus, right? Now you'll be left with what? D plus 13 by 2 minus 13 multiply with d plus 13 by 2 minus
Okay,
d.
sir, got it.
Got it, right? And then you can equate it to get the answer.
Okay.
But this would be one of the questions, right? Because this will take some 5 minutes to solve. Okay, other question, because you have, see, the exam, the timing is like 1 hour. You'll be having some 10 to 12 questions. Okay, if this is taking some 5 to 7 minutes, other question will be there that will take 1 or 2 minutes.
Okay, sir.
Sir, one small doubt over here. Just why did you differentiate over there? That's one I didn't understand.
I differentiated to get the value of vertex. You can use the direct formula also.
Okay.
Vertex, because we calculate the vertex at that point where the slope is 0. So you can differentiate it, equate it to 0 to get the value of vertex.
Okay, so this is another formula like for vertex.
That you can use it. But
So we can
if you have
simply use
one more thing, if you just remember the formula, stick with that. Do not you try to use any other thing because you
Sir,
have some. Yeah.
So we can
Tell me
use 2ax plus b is equal to
why did
0.
we, sir, after getting this vertices, why did we equate it to p of this vertex value equal to minus q of another vertex?
Because this value was c, and from here we are getting minus c, so that's why I equated like minus of that. This was, let's for example, if you have some equation x equals to 5 and a different equation like y equals to minus 5, so you can write it like this: y equals to minus 5. Yeah, that's why we have written like this, because one was c and the other was minus c. That's why we can write it like that.
Yes, sir.
Is this clear to everyone?
Sir, could you summarize this answer again?
Okay, so this question was that the polynomial was given to you, everything was given. what you have to calculate is the best the information that you have to focus is the y coordinate. So everywhere any question there will be some connecting link that you have to see. So here the connecting link was what? The y coordinate of vertices px is c, and the y coordinate or the vertices qs is minus c. That means whatever the y coordinate you are getting from the x, the px, and from the qx, both are same in the value of magnitude, but in the direction is opposite, like one is positive, one is negative. Okay, so one is c, the other one is minus c. So the only thing that you have to calculate is the vertex value. Okay, so vertex value. So if you are calculating the vertex value, how can you calculate the vertex? You can calculate the vertex directly by whatever the polynomial. This value you can calculate, right? This, if you are able to calculate this vertex, you can calculate this y also, right? And whatever the y has been given to you, that was c, correct? And this value also you have to calculate. This vertex if you are able to calculate, y coordinate also you'll be able to calculate. So here it has been given that both are same, but both are of the negative direction. Like if this is c, this is minus c, that you both have to equate, because you can equate both the value, right, only with the minus sign. So if you are equating, you will get the value of d. Is this clear now?
So, sir, we are calculating the x coordinate of the midpoints of the two parabola, and hence,
Yeah, vertex, midpoint. Midpoint can be sometimes same and can be different, but here we are calculating vertex. Okay.
Okay,
vertex
sir.
of the parabola, and then according to the vertex, you can calculate the y coordinate by putting the vertex in the function. Here also we are calculating the x vertex of this parabola, and then calculating the y value. And again we are equating both the value. And if you equate it with the minus sign, you will get the value of the d that is required here.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
So there one question I posted that shopkeeper question, that
clustering.
The first starting of chart.
Please post. Can you please share your PDF?
Okay. PDF. One second. Let me share that PDF first. Is it visible, the slide that I have shared?
हाँ सर, मिल गया.
Sir.
Okay.
So I am having some doubts. I have uploaded a PDF in the chat. If you can please look into it.
Okay, what is that like?
Like a few activity question and few from mock test. Both the mock test.
Okay, mock test. Can you tell me the question number, or you have posted it on the chat box, right? What's the name? What's your name? What is that? I can't see that. Like maybe there are so many.
Sir, in start of chat, but I posted on question. Please, can you see? Vinod.
Ankita.
No,
Yes, sir. A PDF just uploaded now.
Okay. Hey, there are n number of doubts. Okay. Okay. So what's the first doubt? The first doubt is you have been given something. Okay.
So from what I understood from the first question was that it is because it's a line of equation, so it should be bijective itself. But now the option are restricting the value for this
And
A.
see the screen. The screen is visible, right?
Yes, sir.
There are your questions, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The first question is you have been given something, right? And then you have to say that whether this is a bijective function or not. What do you mean by bijective function, first of all?
A B is there, B A should be there.
1-1 function, right?
Yes, sir. One
Yes, sir.
function.
Satisfy the 1-to-1 and on-to-1.
In 1-to-1 and on-to both.
Okay. So for the first case, okay, why do you mark D? I guess D is incorrect. If you see,
Sir, I just took one idea that it is a linear, means it's a equation of line, that is mx plus c. So if I take equals 0, yeah, I skipped one point when slope is like 90 degree. That is, but that's infinity, no? 0, yeah, that's infinity.
no, see the
I
point
took that
why
only of line, that's why I picked that. But the
you
detail,
can take that. There is no problem in that. You can take the D options also. D can be correct, but the point is whenever the A will become 0, right? That won't be correct, right? Because A can vary. A can vary, right? A can take 0 also, right?
yes, sir.
So that's why if you will take A as 0 and B as 0 at that particular point, your function will not be a bijective, right? Because all the for each and every point you'll be getting 0 as a as your mapped value, correct?
Yeah, but for particular case, A equals 0, it valid.
So that's why, because it's asking for all the cases, right? For Z to Z, right? So that's why for one condition, B equals to 0, A equals to 0, that can't be correct. That's why the D option is not correct.
Okay, got it.
Similarly, A option is not correct because A equals to 0 you are taking, that means a constant function you are taking, right? That can't be correct.
Yes, sir.
So B only is the correct one, because C again it's A is correct. A is like 0. A is 0 means it's a constant function, that can't be correct, because if you're taking any value you'll be mapping to a particular fixed value, right? That should not be 1-to-1. So that's why B is a correct option. Is this clear to you? Now
Yes,
come to
sir.
your second option. What is the second option? The stone has been thrown. I guess this question has been discussed in the previous session that we took.
Yeah.
This is the equation of a line. The stone is been thrown. What have been asked? Calculate the initial value.
I was not getting the right answer for this question, so that's why.
How did you solve that?
So,
yeah.
First, I took the vertex, find the coordinate of the vertex.
Okay, why did you calculate that?
Minus b by 2a. That is minus b by 2a. The x value, that is minus half u divided by minus twice of 5. Means I calculate the vertex. X coordinate of that is minus b by 2a, and y coordinate is what is the function value at this x coordinate.
Okay.
First like that, and after this one can reaches, and that means the height is 5 meter. So that means the y coordinate should be equal to 5. I equated that.
Y coordinate, you calculate the x vertex. Okay, you calculate the y value.
Yeah,
and equate it to 5. You'll get the value of u.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll get the value of u.
Okay, then means फिर इसका मतलब calculation error होगा, then I will check, means method
हाँ,
is
calculation error ही होगा. There's no like, this is the concept that you have to use. Calculate x vertex निकालो, y value, or equate it to 5. You'll get the answer.
Yes,
so
sir.
in the graded assignment, week 4 graded assignments, second question.
Graded assignment, second question. Where is that?
Week 4 graded assignment, second question. No, sir.
Oh, it's not here. Huh? Okay.
Not here.
You know, it's
Graded assignment, second question. Whoa. Okay, I'll have to open that.
Mark 3, can you please check that one?
Graded assignment, which question? Fourth. Which question?
Second question.
What is the second? Which among the following function increases and then decreases in all the intervals? This is what you are asking?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Okay.
Sir, I know the first function is, I know it is correct. But the second function is inverse of first function, correct? First option.
The first option is what? 1 upon
10,000 x plus 1 square.
10k and then
x plus 1 whole
which
square.
option which option you have a doubt?
Actually, second option, sir.
Second option. Okay. This is minus. And
minus
this
10k.
X minus 2, x plus 3 whole square, x plus 4 का whole square, 5 minus x whole square, x minus 6 का whole square, and then 3 minus x. Which among the following function first increases and then decreases? This is simple, right? You plot it, right? You plot
3
it.
minus x is not there, na? 3 minus x is not there.
3 minus x is not there. But whatever I can see is 3 minus x is there, I can see.
No, sir. 3 minus x is not there.
Wait, you can write it as x minus 3, right?
No, it is same as option 1, sir. It is not extra anything. Only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 routes are there.
This is the equation?
Yes, correct.
X plus 1 का whole square, x minus 2, x plus 3 का whole square, x plus 4 का whole square, x minus 5, you can write it like that because this you can write it x minus 5 का whole square also, and x minus 6 का whole square.
The x minus 5 not whole square, x minus 5 is only x minus 5. It's a linear equation.
Okay, so maybe I have whatever I have that has maybe because that is in the form of some randomized, so you can tell me your equation and then
okay, sir. Minus 1 upon 10k, x plus 1 whole square.
Minus 1 x plus
1 whole square. X minus 2. X plus 3 whole square.
X plus 3 whole square.
X plus 4.
X plus 4.
5 minus x.
Okay. X minus 5.
That's 5 minus x. It's both same, no?
I just put it here positive and then I just took out the minus sign and then positive. Okay. What is
then
left?
X minus 6 whole square.
6 whole square.
But it is
plot it, right? Okay, plot it. This is a figure. Okay. What are the roots? Minus
roots
4, minus 3, minus
yes,
1. Okay. 2, 5, 6. Correct?
Yes.
What is the value at plus infinity and minus infinity? infinity,
For
right?
plus infinity and minus infinity is minus
No, plus
yes.
infinity. Plus infinity for both the cases, right?
1 minute, sir. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, sir, it is positive. Now you taken here positive, then it will come negative infinity.
This is plus infinity, this is minus infinity, right?
Minus infinity, yes.
Okay, because you have minus infinite and then you have 5 plus 4, so 9 degrees, so it will be minus infinite. Okay.
Yes.
So we'll start from minus infinite, it will be from here, it will go
Here?
somewhere here,
Yes.
right?
Yes, correct. Sir, if sir, why you taken here plus 1 by 10k?
Because I just kept it like x minus 5 was there, right?
Yes, okay.
5 minus x was there. Can I take it like this, x minus 5?
Oh, okay, sir. Then option is correct. No doubt, sir. Clear. Okay, thank you, sir.
Clear, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Sir, in the same question, the third option is also correct. So can you please explain that too?
The third option, then you have to tell me the third option, because whatever the option I have is the different one.
It's minus 1 by 10,000.
Minus 1 by 10k.
X plus 1 the whole square.
X plus 1 whole square.
X minus 2.
X minus 2.
X plus 3 the whole square. X plus 4 the whole square. 5 minus x the whole square.
X minus 5 whole square.
X minus 6 the whole square.
Okay.
And 3 minus x.
3 minus x. Okay. So then I can do it as a positive x minus 3. Correct?
Yes.
Then try to plot this. Tell me the roots for this equation.
X minus 6 the whole square. 5. Minus 1, 2, minus 3.
Okay. Minus 4, right? Minus 4 is also there. Minus 3, minus 1, and then you have 2, 3, 5, 6. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. And what is the value at f infinite?
F infinite.
Will be 2, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So infinite, and minus infinite also will be infinite. Correct?
Infinite, yeah.
Yes.
So it will go from here, it will go till here.
Yes.
Right? It will start like this. Minus 4, what is the multiplicity? It will return back. Even number.
Yeah.
Even number.
Yes.
Minus 3, minus 3, minus 3, even number.
Also even number.
Again, bounce back. Yeah.
Minus 1, even number.
Even number.
2, where is 2? Odd number.
Odd, yeah, linear.
Will cross.
3, again it will cross. 5, where is 5? Here.
Minus 5.
Okay, it will go like this. 6, what is 6? 6, even number. Again it will go like this, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, what has been asked here?
So the question is, which among the following function first increases and then decreases? And this option has been given correct.
So from first increases. Okay.
Yeah.
So from minus 4, it is increasing and then decreasing, right? So
yeah.
This is correct. Again, this will also be correct, right?
Minus 3 to minus 1.
This is also correct. This is also correct. 5 to 6 is also correct, right? So yeah, correct options, right?
3 to 5 is also correct.
What?
3 to 5 is also correct, right?
Yeah, first increasing, then decreasing. First increasing, then decreasing.
Yeah, 3 to 5 is also correct, right?
Okay.
Yeah, 3 to 5 is also correct. But the options has been given this one, this one, this one.
Yeah,
correct.
Yeah.
Apart from this, there are some other points also, but that is not been asked. Yeah.
Okay, sir, correct.
Okay. Got
it?
Sir. Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
So in chat box starting I posted one question. Very first question.
Okay. What's your name? Can you tell me?
Vinod Kumar.
Vinod. Okay.
Can I post it again, sir?
Okay, can you? I guess that has went up or somewhere.
Sir, I had posted one question from graded 4 assignments.
So just I posted.
What is that? Is this related to something turning point and no turning? Is this related to turning point or something?
So I think it's a quadratic. Some question. Some shopkeeper question, retailer question.
Okay. You have to maximize the profit, huh?
Yes.
Hey, then this question you just have to read it carefully and write the quadratic equation. Nothing more, nothing less. Yeah, and
Sir,
then calculate the vertex.
Sir, I understand we have to find the vertex. So the vertex must be in positive direction. That I understand. But I can't find this. Found the make that quadratic. That's why.
Okay, I'll calculate that. Okay. Yeah, so whoever asking this all questions, well, I guess your doubt. These all questions are simple.
Sir, I have done like I was able to identify 2 errors for the third and fourth doubt, but for the I require hint for the mock questions only.
Which one?
Like,
Which question? Which one? Third one.
Like fifth and sixth.
Yeah, I need the fifth. I want to clarity.
Fifth, out sixth. Like I don't know like how I should identify the line of equation of line AC.
Yeah. Okay. This question you're asking?
I didn't get. Yes, sir. This one, doubt 5. And sir, for the below question also, like I tried, but I'm not getting the exact answer for question or doubt number 6.
Okay. So what's
Like
the
how
doubt
I
here? You
feel the
have been.
equation.
Okay. Go one by one. We'll go. So this is a triangle. It has been given to you, the ABC triangle. The line segment AB, BC, CA represents the side of ABC. And then you have been given the angle as alpha. Okay. Then you have been, which of the following options are correct with respect to ABC? What's the doubt here? You have to calculate just the slope, right?
No. So for the line AC, equation of line AC, we have to calculate in the second question, if seventh question, if you will. Like,
Okay. So
I have
this
written
is done. This is done, right? This is no problem.
Yeah, this one has done. Sixth is done. This seventh.
Okay. So can you calculate the angle between those two lines?
Like how to find.
So you have this one.
It's 180 minus the.
This is one L1. This is L2. This is L3, right? Can you calculate angle between L1 and L2? L1 and L2?
Yeah, it's 180 minus 12.
No, 180 minus what? Okay, you calculate the distance like the L1, L2, whatever you will be getting. Let's, for example, you are getting something, correct? If you calculate between L1 and L3.
So that's going to be 180 minus 2 alpha, na?
That is fine. That is fine. I'm asking, you have to calculate alpha, right? See.
Oh, for that
The
I have to
angle
take the
between
inverse.
L1 and L2. If you're able to calculate that angle between L1 and L2, you'll get something in the form of tan theta, right? Correct?
Yes, sir.
I guess you are not able to understand that. You will be getting something in the form of L1. You'll get something in the form of tan theta, right? From here, tan alpha.
Yeah,
tan alpha you'll get. Let me clear this
So
one.
it's
And
minus
then
20.
You don't have to calculate exact value of the theta, man. You just calculate tan alpha. tan alpha you'll get something, some 1/2, 1/5, something you'll get, right? Here. That will be your
Yes,
slope
sir.
for, okay.
That's
Yeah, slope we got it. Yes.
You'll get tan alpha, you'll be getting tan
3/4.
alpha. 1 second, just listen, okay, and then you can ask. Tan alpha, if you are getting tan alpha, right? L1 and L2 you can calculate, right? If you have alpha, you can use it here also, right? So now you can use it, the angle between L2 and L3. You have the formula, you can write it, right? Because you already know that alpha now. So tan alpha, you are already knowing that. You can use the slope of this one as M2 and M3. M3 you can calculate it now because you have tan alpha. M2 you have, M3 you don't have. So M3 you can put it here, you can get the M3, right? Or should I calculate that?
No, let me give it a try.
See, I'll just calculate it. See, give me the value. What's the, and this is most important thing that I'm discussing. The formula, that angle between two lines, that you should be knowing. What's the formula? Just tell me. What's the formula between, if I'm asking, if the slope is M1 and M2, what is the formula?
M1 minus
M2
M2
minus
upon
M1,
1 plus
1
M1
plus
M2.
M1 into M2. M1 minus M2, then 1 plus M1 M2. You can take this as a mod, right? Tan alpha. What is the value you're getting here? What is M1? What is M1? I'm taking this as a 1 and M2.
1/2, right?
1/2, correct? M2?
2, right?
2. Yeah, that's correct. So if I'm taking 1/2 minus 2, 1 plus 1/2 into 2. This is mod. How much you're getting? 3/4. Correct?
Yeah,
correct?
that's what I'm getting.
Now let's take this as M3. Now I'm calculating between M2 and M3. What can I write here? M2 minus M3 by 1 plus M2 M3. And that value I already know, right? 3/4. M2 I already know. 2 minus M3. 1 plus 2M3.
What it said now? Like now we have slope and 1 point is given. Now we can find the
Correct,
equation of
correct,
that line.
correct, correct. So this is simple, right? M3 you can calculate it. This clear, right, to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Anything else from here? Nothing, right? Can move to the next question. That will be the
No.
last question for the day.
Yes, sir.
You can ask, see, the previous term paper, I don't know. See, the same question, I guess today it will be discussed in 4 to 6. So that's why we have specified 2 sessions for just to discuss the previous term paper. Yesterday they have discussed, I guess, not the same paper, but the last paper they discussed. This question, I guess, that was asked in previous term paper. That will be discussed today, 4 to 6. So you can join that session. They'll discuss all the questions regarding the previous term paper. That's why I just fixed it some session to just discuss the previous term papers only.
Sir, I just posted a question, sir, just regarding the turning point. Can you just look at it?
One question, sir, before you move on to from this one. This angles thing, are there any other formulas that are relevant apart from this one?
No, only if you should be knowing this formula. If you are knowing this formula, you'll be able to solve the question.
Okay.
It's important one. You should be knowing that. Yeah.
So, sir, in this M1 minus M2, how I will decide? It will be bigger angle minus, means which
No,
will go
bigger
minus.
slope. It doesn't have to be bigger slope on this one. It's a mod value, right? So M1 minus M2 or M2 minus M1, it would always give you a positive result of the difference.
Okay, and so that depends on the, yeah. So you should be knowing that how does the tan behaves. Okay, and that also is not, I guess, not to you. How does the tan behave? Tan theta behaves basically from which value to which value. It should be positive. It is a negative value. Then what should be the value you'll be getting? Okay.
We have not been taught that.
I guess you have not been taught that, right? Obtuse angle into like the acute angle. Have you been taught that?
No.
Okay. So yeah. So that basically I can tell you like how do you decide that, but I guess if it's not been taught, there is no point of.
Yeah. Okay, sir.
Yeah. you can directly take it as a mod, okay, and then you can directly calculate that. Okay, so I guess any other doubts that you have related to previous term paper, that there are session that is specified. If you if you want, I can fix on one more session. Okay, there is no uh, uh, we can have another session also, because we have, I guess today is Friday, so and I have a meeting again at 12 o'clock. I didn't have
Sir,
a
yes,
breakfast.
sir,
Yes, one more
Yes, sir.
PYQ session would
sir,
be very good.
Sir, I
sir,
have
if
posted
you
a
have
question.
I
time,
can, yeah. I'll
then,
just
then
give one more
yeah.
session, okay? I'll ask them to attend one more session, okay? Today we'll have one. Tomorrow morning you'll have again one more session, okay? So do not
Sir,
worry about that.
because
Because
it will take long.
I have a meeting at 12 o'clock again, and I didn't had a breakfast. I just woke up and took the session, so I'll have to go now, okay?
Sir, that
For
session
any
you
other doubt, yeah, just
Sir, yeah,
listen
I
to me.
posted just
Just
one
listen to
question.
me. Just listen to me. If you have any other doubts, we have one more session, 4 to 6. Again, tomorrow morning, we'll be having one more session. You can ask
Thank you,
me.
sir. Thanks.
What?
Okay, sir.
Thank
Yeah,
you very
thank
much.
you, sir. Yep.
Yeah, and do not worry. You can just mail me whatever the doubts you were having. You just mail me. By evening, I'll reply for sure. Okay, whatever the doubts you have. Or if you had a if you didn't if you already wrote the qualifier exam, you have a discourse, then you can push it on the discourse. Your query will get resolved in 1 hour itself. Okay, so there are people that will be resolving your all doubts on the discourse. Do not worry about that. So your all the doubts will be resolved for sure.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I am qualifier. So, is it could you please share your email?
The
I
email
will
is
give
already with you,
try.
right? It's like vishal@study.itm.ac.in. Okay.
Okay.
So if you are on the Discord discussion forum, you just mail it there. Okay. If you don't have, then you can directly mail me. It's like,
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
okay.
Sir, are you doing master?
Masters. I completed masters from here itself, IT, by 21 itself. Okay.
Thank you,
Sir, are
sir.
you closing
Thanks a
the
lot.
session?
Thanks everyone for
Thank you, sir.
joining. 4 to 6, please join the session
Thank
again.
you, sir.
Okay, for
Yes,
any
yes.
doubts that you have from the related to previous term, you join it 4 to 6. They'll discuss everything. Okay, they'll wait 1 more hour to just discuss whatever you have the doubt. Okay, 2 hours they'll discuss the previous term, whatever they have decided to, and then they'll take your doubts. Okay.
Thank
Again,
you.
I'll tell them to have a one more session tomorrow morning, maybe 8 to 10. They'll do that. Previous term
Okay,
papers
sir.
only.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
sir.
sir.
Thanks. Thanks. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thanks
sir.
everyone for joining the session. I'm really sorry for that. Like I didn't took the because I have to go. So yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks
Thank you,
everyone
sir.
for joining the session. Okay.
Thank you for the session, sir.
What?
Thank you for the session, sir.